You're listening to the official Brain Dead podcast with
Oliver,
Grant,
Giles,
Jared,
and Billy.
And if you're loving what you're listening to, please follow us on Twitter, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify. And while you're at it, go on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Enjoy.
You're listening to the official Brain Dead podcast. So all of us here, I think we've talked about it a few times, how we're all big fans of Pokemon. So that's kind of going to be what we're focusing on today.
Yeah, Pokemon's been in my life since I was like 6. Taught me how to read. It's the reason I learned how to read. Is because the first red game I bought, or that my brother had, he was like, "You can't play because you don't know how to read." And I was like, "I bet." And I learned how to read. And
Electrode.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I've said it before. I wasn't a big Nintendo kid. I didn't really pick up Nintendo until, holy shit.
Giles just showed us a picture of a Bungo.
Diglett.
It's not okay.
Okay, well,
that's a Diglett.
Get it out of here.
I was always a PlayStation kid, and then I became an Xbox kid, and I didn't play a Nintendo system until I got a Wii, and then I got a. I found a.
Are you okay?
That's just terrifying.
Yeah. It won't leave him.
Nidoran. Just keep it in the corner. Keep it in the corner of the screen the whole episode.
He'll be looming.
It could be the background.
Get this out of here. I'm upset.
Something worse.
Giles, we were trying to talk about Pokemon. This is not Pokemon.
That is a Pokemon.
That's what Diglett would look, or not Diglett. That's what Ditto would look like in real life when he mimics them.
It's a fucking Abunga, but it's Mark Zuckerberg.
I hate this.
But
back on track.
So
on the Wii,
my first experience with Pokemon was when Oliver let me borrow it was a copy of Gold, like the original Gold on the Game Boy. So that was my first run-in. But the first one I played and really got into was Platinum.
Mankey. I genuinely I can't remember a time without Pokemon. Personally, like. I don't know, like my brother was in the Pokemon, my brother's friends were in the Pokemon, so therefore I was in the Pokemon because I thought they were cool. So like I just don't remember a time where I was not into Pokemon.
I watched the show as a kid, but that was about it.
Did you play Pokemon as a kid, Giles?
I did not. Kinda. It was a thing that my older cousin, like back before my family just started fucking having kids, it was just me and him, and he was like 4 years older than me, and he's like, I like Pokemon. I'm like, I like anything you like. And we watched like all the movies, and like he played games. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. My first ever Pokemon game that I've ever actually played to completion was Emerald.
Yeah, Emerald, I put a lot of time into that one.
But I knew all the 150 because I watched the show every Saturday.
I played a lot of Pokemon. Like, I put quite a few hours in there. But it wasn't like the biggest thing in my childhood. Like, it was just like a game I'd play whenever I'd be out and about.
Something to do like when your parents
like portable stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty much like, it didn't overpower the other things I loved, like Digimon. Like I love Digimon more than Pokemon.
Rattata.
Do you remember the Digimon fighting game they had?
Yeah. I had all the Digimon games.
The Digimon games were actually really
good. They really were, and the show was really good. But also, I loved like Beatamon and Bakugan and Beyblades and stuff. So like all those like cartoon shows that were like
monster capture things,
all those types of things. I loved them.
Where you had some sort of companion-esque creature.
Yeah. I did
Zatch
all those.
Bell.
I liked Zatch Bell, actually.
I loved Zatch Bell. They didn't have me like game things.
No, me neither. But I liked the show.
Yeah, the show was good.
When I was younger, I was more into Yu-Gi-Oh! I really liked the Yu-Gi-Oh! show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played a lot.
Oh, I loved it when I was a kid. Now when I watch it, I'm like, wow, this is fucking crazy. Like this is
Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge is incredible.
Pharaoh.
Are you just listing off Pokemon?
Do the Pokemon rap slowly.
Oh my god. I can confirm he's got it just pulled up on his iPad.
No,
Did you even say catch him?
No, I'm doing
He's just
the
listing
Pokemon
them.
in
Or
order.
he's just listing them.
I'm gonna say I don't even remember that happening.
No, so yeah, Pokemon was a big part of my childhood, like as far as just things I was into. So it was a constant. I've played every generation of them, and even every one of like the remakes they've made. The only thing I've not delved into is like the spin-off mystery dungeon games or the. I did play.
I think those are good though.
I've heard they're good too.
What is the play style on that one? I don't know what the.
I think they're kind of Zelda-y, where it's like dungeon diving, but you play as a Pokemon doing it.
Yeah, you're like
Okay.
a Pokemon, and you have like Pokemon friends, and you like talk to each other, and like a lot of it involves like the like little games where you like circle stuff.
No,
remember
that's the
that's
Rescue
the-
Rangers.
Oh, that's Rescue Rangers.
Rescue Rangers is the one where you have to like circle the
Stuff.
Pokemon.
Okay.
I'm guessing that
catch
was like a.
them.
But that's
DS
all.
thing.
Rescue Rangers, you're also a Pokemon, aren't you?
Rescue Rangers, you're a Rescue Ranger, which is like a
But,
it's
so-
like a special
Yeah,
ops
You're
like
Chippendale.
yeah.
Well, there are, in Pokemon games, you can battle like Rangers,
Yeah, it's like
What's
the
her name?
park ranger type
Yeah.
of deal.
Yeah, I played Pokemon all the way up until DS because I didn't have a DS until a 3DS because I instead played PSP, which was like my favorite portable console.
Sorry about that.
I got really big. Like I said, I beat Platinum first, and then I got Heart Gold because I found a copy of it, which is still it's like $50 in some places.
It's been $50 for a couple of years.
But
now, yeah.
when I got it, it was 40. I got it right after we graduated high school.
Which that was still pretty high for that.
yeah,
time, too.
that was still high.
That came out like our freshman year.
Heart Gold. It was. So I played Platinum, and then I got Heart Gold after I graduated.
That's the one with Ho on it, right?
That was the
That's the remake of
second gen.
Gold and Silver. Yeah.
Which you haven't played, and you can get a hands-on copy of it.
That was really cool.
It's probably one of the best Pokemon games.
Don't go to GameStop. Try to get it like OG with the box and with the pedometer as well.
Yeah, a lot of I feel like Platinum, but more off Heart Gold and Soul Silver is one of those games that like hasn't gone down in price because like the community that liked playing those games like really value those ones over a lot of
They
the
keep them.
others.
Well, and that's to say something too, because if you go to GameStop right now, you can buy like Sun and Moon for $20 used because of how many people bought those and then traded them in pretty fast.
Yeah,
Sun and,
Where those
Sun
old
and
ones
Moon,
they hold on to.
Sun and Moon was a pretty quick game to get through.
I think that
I
think it's just because we're older.
Well, compared to previous games, I think
it's just
I will
because we're getting
say-
better at them.
I will say that I as a conscious adult,
Yeah.
have played like Sun and Moon and X and Y, and I've played like Heart Gold, and Heart Gold is more difficult.
It is. No, it is, and that's why people like that one.
Yeah.
it's not as linear.
And that's
Like Sun and Moon and X and Y were kind of linear in scale compared to games like that.
people I've heard talking about, even the new game that's coming out, which I'm sure we'll talk about more in depth later. A lot of the complaint comes from, all right, we've been doing this for 20-some years, and we still don't have a difficulty select. You know what I mean? There's not like some kind of difficulty scaling here.
When did the first game come out? Like
98?
98?
6, I want to say.
Maybe in Japan.
I think it was 96.
I think it was 98 in
So-
America.
So regardless, we're going on a little over 20 years regardless.
X and Y for me was just really fucking boring. Like
I liked X and Y. X and Y introduced a lot
Like,
that I enjoyed.
it's the first one that I was like, I don't even have the urge to finish this one.
That's
Like I like the Pokemon in it.
Yeah.
But like just the stuff that was like the story, I was like,
I feel like it was definitely the start of me being like, oh, this game's really like straightforward.
I didn't care for the legendaries in X and Y as much.
I
hated
when-
them.
when-
I
when
hated
it comes-
them in
when
Sun and Moon.
When it comes to the design of legendaries, I don't want them to be like I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of the issue I had with Black and White, where the legendaries were. I don't know how to explain it. Like I like the simpler models where that you can tell that there's still something special about them, but they're still like
You can tell you can see them and understand each thing.
yeah. I don't want as like distinct design difference between the rest of the Pokemon and the legendaries. Like I know the legendaries are supposed to be special, but
I want them to look special. I just
Yeah.
don't want them to be over detailed.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they add weird things. Like X and Y did a lot of like just little odds and end pieces that we put on these creatures that are like, okay,
Yeah.
Why does it have
The
all
only
of that?
legendaries I've ever really liked are Mew and Mewtwo.
Yeah.
I don't really like any of the other
I
legendaries.
I like
Age.
Giratina a lot.
I did too.
I like
That was
Giratina.
the first real legendary. Once again, Platinum was the first game I got that I really went through. So Giratina is always gonna hold a special spot.
I started not liking legendaries when like all the titles of the games were literally what the legendaries were just gonna look like.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, X and Y's legendaries were fucking boring.
They
as
look
shit.
like X's and Y's.
Yeah,
That's
what I'm kinda worried
black
about
and
with
white.
Sword
They're
and
just
Shield.
black and white. They're basically
Sword
the
and
same
Shield.
thing.
He's got a sword. He is a
He's got
shield.
a shield,
Yeah.
yeah. Sun and Moon. It's a sun thing and it's a moon thing. It's like
I do think the legendaries for Sword and Shield look kind of cool though. I think the sword legendary looks cool. I don't really like.
I think they
Shield
look cool,
legendary.
but I don't get the vibe from them that they're legendaries at all. Like, I don't look at them and I'm like, that dog is special. I say that dog found the sword.
Yeah, I think both
What do
of the
you got
legendaries kinda
there?
look like trash.
They're nothing original. I've seen dog with sword before.
Yeah.
they're just
Um,
they're just really boring looking.
They
Like,
don't look like legendaries.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't mean to be, and I guess again, I don't really like many of the legendaries at all.
Mhm.
Like like Mew, Mewtwo look good to me. I kind of like Rayquaza, but like most of the time, I look at the legendaries. I'm like, I'm never gonna use this Pokemon anyway, so I don't really care about it. But the newest ones, I looked at and was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, and like
Weird.
They're just dogs. Again.
I caught Rayquaza during a soccer game. I faked the leg injury. And I got on the bench and I caught him and
Pro
I
gamer
was like,
strats.
I'm okay now, and I went back out.
I caught Deoxys at one of my brother's wrestling. Like, my brother did wrestling matches.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I didn't give a shit about him. No one really does. But my parents would go watch him and support him because they're chill. And I would just, like, find the corner with all the Yu-Gi-Oh kids, like, buying and selling cards. And I'd be like, getting on my Game Boy Advance.
I was playing Pokemon Ruby with some kids also had like Sapphire and stuff like that. We were just like doing little
Trading
battles and stuff.
exclusives.
I don't know why I remember this. Like, I just remember having to walk away from the group because some girl like farted, and I was like
It was
it was the
vivid in your
first time
mind.
I ever like heard a girl fart, and I was like, ew. And I left. I don't know
I'm
why.
taking a walk on that. No. You're like, I gotta
Yeah,
breathe.
I had to
We
leave.
gotta
I
think
was
about
like,
some stuff,
I was like,
man.
this is weird.
I'm finna head out.
So I know we've talked like I think in a previous episode we talked about everyone's favorite generation. I want to go the opposite. What is everyone's least favorite Pokemon game?
I know this is gonna sound contrary, but Black and White really didn't stand out to me.
I feel like that's
That's-
everybody's
yeah.
answer.
I actually know. I know
mean,
a few people who. That's
I
one
mean,
of their top
not really
3
contrary, but
games.
like conformative, because like I feel like everybody
Oh,
is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Okay.
Black and White.
You said contrary
was
like
the
it was a
wrong
hot take. And I
word.
was
Yeah,
like,
contrary was the wrong word.
Even
piping
someone,
cold take on screen.
even me who wasn't even in the Pokemon, I know people who were, and Black and White seemed like a weird gray area where,
Haha.
I'm fucking funny, dude. Oh my god.
Moment of silence. You're fucking funny, John.
Can we get 5 seconds apiece? There they go.
Jared, you ruined it.
All right, and I just like I never heard anything about it. Now that I live on the internet, I still when I see something from Black and White, I'm like, that's weird and specific. That's probably some weeb shit.
Yeah, like
That's for
I
some
really-
hardcore fans.
I really don't like when people say that the Pokemon designs have become unoriginal, considering
That's a lame
considering the first generation was like rock with arms, lizard have fire. Like
Rock
you,
with Arms
yeah.
is my fave.
yeah, it's like you can't say that those were necessarily original, and then some of the other stuff isn't.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I didn't even not like the game because I was like, oh, these designs are so
Yeah.
unoriginal. I just
The story
remember-
was also really weird.
The story actually was the most interesting part
Yeah.
of Black and White, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, playing through it didn't keep my attention as much as like I was into the actual conflict
Yeah.
of that game more than I
would
was
think
playing
there's
it.
also a literal fucking trash bag that is a Pokemon.
Garbodor, yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. There's a Pokemon that's name is it's a snake and its name is Ekans. Like, that's getting back in
trash
the.
bag.
There's one that's just a magnet. There's one that's just a rock, or one that's just a thing of
Muck and Grimer are just sludge.
mud, sludge. Yeah.
Muck and Grimer are sludge.
Arguably, and you also know what Muck spelled backwards is. Like my favorite boy, and he will never change, is or he will change this whole thing. Ditto. He's just fucking. He's a little pink boy that he changes into anything, and Ditto It's like he just does finger guns. Ditto, I'm you too, dude.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I'll say Black and White's my least favorite, but there are some really good Pokemon designs that I do like in there.
There are highlights of Black and White where I'm like, I like that.
I mean, the
some great
highs
things that came out of it.
For me, there are some really high highs in Black and White. Like, I look at that Pokemon and I'm like, that's a cool one. Haxew, Noivern, Hydreigon. Like, I really fucking love those designs. But I think what killed Black and White for me was the story was cool. I liked most of the Pokemon designs, at least some. The human designs were the ones where I was like, y'all look really stupid. It's like when they really delved into like one specific style for people with like really crazy hair and stuff. Like I was like,
they went anime.
They went like the Yu-Gi-Oh designs of the Pokemon series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was also a transitionary period with the sprites and everything.
But that was the first one on the 3DS and having like the action sprites and weather effects.
I've got a very hot take.
Weather effects showed up in Ruby and Sapphire.
No, I mean like seasonal ones.
Oh,
like,
okay,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, so like in the winter, it looked wintry. And
Yeah, okay. Yeah, never mind. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be a boiling hot take in the Pokemon. I did not like the third generation very much.
I agree. It's Ruby and Sapphire. There's high highs in that one, and that's why that one does better for me.
Yeah, like they're like the Pokemon that came out of it are fine. It's just like the overall game design. I didn't really like the way the world was laid out.
Too much water.
Too much water. Right. But it's like overall, I really struggled to get into that game. Like Black and White, I just couldn't do it. Like still some great Pokemon that came out of it that I enjoyed in later generations. But Ruby and Sapphire is just like I could not get into that generation.
I think the reason I agree that one has some stuff that had it not been nostalgic for me, that it would have been forgettable. But the reason I do enjoy it so much is because of how nostalgic it is. That was the first one that I owned my own copy of. Mm-hmm. Like, that was the first time that, like, my brother had one and I had one. And we had our own separate ones.
Chili's favorite. Been thinking over here.
Fuck if I know, mate. Like,
Your least favorite? It sounds like
you
it's
did
X
kind
and
of
Y.
say it, yeah.
Is it X and Y?
I mean, out of the ones I've played, probably, yeah. Probably. I haven't really heard much about Black and White. I know that a lot of the things in there looked really cool.
There was some cool
That's
stuff.
all I really like saw about that. But X and Y probably like I just could not fucking get through that game. I mean, I loved I think that's the starters with
Chestnut, Delphi.
Yeah. Those are my
Greninja.
favorite. That is like some of my favorite starters other than Ruby. But
You know what I think? When you just to throw in another thing, I feel like one of the reasons I did not like Black and White is because I didn't like any of the starters.
That's true too. Yeah, the starters were kind of garbage.
where were the starters from?
Oshawott, Snivy, and the pig.
Oh no, I fucking hated that one.
Yeah, and that was the one too where, like,
What's the pig's
immediately.
name?
Tepig.
Well,
I think
his final
something.
evolution.
God, that's a fucking terrible name.
It's the pig.
I literally just, it's to pig.
It's the pig.
I think his final
XD.
evolution was like Emperor or
Plots.
something.
Yeah, I know his
Yeah.
final evolution's like Emperor because he's like a big boar.
Yeah, but I can't remember what his very first.
I thought that was
evolution
lion. There's like a fire lion.
No, that's Incineroar.
No, there's a fire lion.
Fire
Are you
Lion.
thinking of?
Not Sun and Moon. There's
Oh
there's
no,
a fire
yeah,
lion.
no, I know what
think
you're
that
saying.
is-
That's an X. That was it. Shows up in X and Y. And I
sure?
don't remember what it's
I
called.
thought that was the,
No, it's an X and Y because the male has the whole mane, and there's a
Yeah.
female version that has just
just
the
like
strip.
the. I thought that was Emperor.
Litleo?
Litleo the evolved form.
yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's right here.
Yeah,
its
what's
name?
its evolved
That's not
evolved
Litleo.
form?
That's not Litleo.
Well, it's got Litleo and it's got a completely different fucking
Who's
Pokemon
Leo?
on it.
Why is it not Leo?
It's Luke.
Litleo.
No, I
No, it is Litleo.
okay.
yeah, 'cause
that's
he's
not
a
what I'm. What's the evolution?
That's what I'm looking up.
You
I swear if you don't tell me
you were
what
just
Litleo's
stuck on
evolved
that
form
picture,
is.
like, what is
God,
this?
I'm gonna
Pyroar.
fucking explode.
Pyroar. That's why I got
Yeah,
it.
it's got the female and the male.
And it's got the roar in it, and
Yeah.
another fire.
Because the male
Fire
had
and roar.
the male
Yeah.
had the mane, the female had the like
Yeah,
thing going
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah. I think it was the starters, and then they did that thing too, where that was when you picked your starter, you also got a monkey
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
like
yeah.
the weakness,
forgot
and that
about
was the first
that.
time that they ever threw you like a bone, saying like,
Here's
"Hey,
your
you're weak to that thing, so we're gonna give you a monkey that's strong to the thing you're weak to."
And they sucked. All the monkeys sucked.
I
they were
played through
rubbish.
it to the end too. I
Yeah.
used them the whole time.
Yeah,
Semi-poor
Because-
I picked Snivy.
yeah. So it gave you something that would put
a
out
water
the fire.
monkey.
Yeah,
I was like, water monkey's not good.
yeah. None of them are. I remember Water Monkey did have the like we're just calling it Water Monkey. Water Monkey did have the ability. It had like a water attack that had burn on it. Or
Yeah.
like, burn.
I think that was
they
Scald,
introduced
right?
that Scald.
Yeah.
Scald was a water
And I
attack
thought that
could
was
burn.
I think
Interesting.
they had that before the
No,
before
did
that
they?
generation.
I
Right?
think that was the introduction. I don't know. That was the first time I had seen that attack.
Maybe. I
or
know
seen
I had
an
a,
attack that did that.
They've also changed moves over the
Yeah.
years. Like,
Mhm.
some of those moves do different shit now than they used to.
Yeah, I know I had a Kingdra in one generation. It may have, I think it was Sun and Moon, so it would make sense if it was introduced in that earlier generation. That hat's cold.
What about you, Giles?
Least favorite?
Yeah.
X and Y.
Next
Next
one.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but any specific reason?
I mean, I had repressed it, and then
Uh-huh.
Jared says like, "Yeah, I kind of got bored." And I was like, "Yeah, what was that one even about?"
There's the French
Just
one.
proved my point. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't fucking remember that one.
It was
so
the
it's dumb.
French one.
Again, that's when they started getting really like straightforward, linear. Like,
I
go
will
here,
say-
go there.
I will say, like
That one just had a story
The
that was
main
all over
hub
the place.
city got really confusing
It did.
sometimes because like there was at one point where
Like
I
the
just-
Paris city
I
where you
just-
had to like go
yeah,
around
I
in a
just got
circle.
so mad because I couldn't figure out where to go that I just put the game down for like a few months, and then I came back to it and beat it. Also, was it that generation where they introduced fairy type?
Yeah.
I will say that is the best thing that came out of that generation was the fairy type.
I would disagree. Not that I don't like the typing for like certain whatevers, but like it just doesn't feel like it has a lot of utility. Like, I mean,
Anti-dragon.
It's
was
anti-dragon.
It was like for balancing.
but we
purposes.
already had ice.
Yeah,
but
but,
dragon
but
hurt is like super effective against dragon, isn't it?
Yeah, dragon's weak to dragon.
I know.
Yeah, so that's dragon's weak to dragon.
Yeah, I know
And
it is
ice type,
now. I'm
too.
thinking if it was before
It
that.
was.
Yeah.
Because like ice was introduced. Ice
Was
wasn't
second
originally. Ice wasn't originally strong against anything except grass and flying. I guess it was. It was strong against grass and flying, and they made it. They tried to balance by making it so it also affected dragon types. And I feel like fairy was introduced because it was a neat thing, but also introduced to be like, okay, anti-dragon.
Well,
Because I'm pretty sure
okay.
dragon was a super effective against dragon even in Ruby.
Also, I love
Well-
Sylveon. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. I also love Sylveon, but fairy is also weak against like
Is weak to poison.
Yeah.
poison and steel.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
also
so-
fucking weird.
Yeah, so I
Steel doesn't have a lot
to a
of
degree
utility.
fairy type
yeah.
did help with those two because those two didn't have a whole lot going on. I still don't see why fairy goes with steel and
Or
poison.
poison.
But
Yeah.
I mean, some of the weaknesses kind of don't make sense when you think
Fern
about
Gully,
it.
the movie.
For me, it's like it opened up this weird spot where I was like, we could add tons of types and just have it be like, oh, well, we just need it for balancing reasons. At the end of the day, it just felt like it had a weird utility, and there wasn't enough that they did with it. Personally,
It's just like
they were. Oh, sorry. They were just like, here's Sylveon, and that was like it, because that was the only fairy type that anyone used for the fairy stuff.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
they
they gave
introduced
some
a
normal
couple
types.
others, and they made some normal types, fairy
Yeah.
types, and
I don't know. It just felt like a weird gimmicky type.
again, I feel like it was just to make because like dragon type has been real strong in every game
Mhm.
until then, and
Yeah.
not that it wasn't strong in that game. It's just like you had a direct counter because like not only was fairy type not
That's also when they had one
Not
of the
only
Elite
was
Four
fairy
members
type-
be a dragon trainer, didn't it? Didn't they?
in what genre?
Is that where? Is that where?
I don't remember.
I thought that was.
No,
was
that
that
one-
Cynthia?
That
Or was
one
that-
guy was the dragon leader, the L
Lance.
Lance. Or
But
whatever.
Lance didn't
Yeah.
even have enough dragon types to fill a team.
Yeah.
And Heart Gold and Soul
No, I'm
Silver.
talking. Wasn't it Cynthia? Didn't Cynthia? have
Cynthia.
one?
No, Cynthia was just like
She's the baddie,
the
actually.
champion.
Yeah.
She was just like
She
the
was.
champion.
Now Ness is
But
here.
like
Fuck out of here. Cynthia's my bitch.
No.
she was
Nessa.
she wasn't like a dragon type user. She had a dragon Pokemon, I'm pretty sure. But
Okay,
she
I
wasn't
thought she was
like
dragon type.
that wasn't her gimmick. But like fairy also like fairy types aren't affected at all by dragon. Like you can't hurt a fairy type.
Oh,
with
yeah,
dragon
yeah,
move,
it's just
which
like-
I felt was like an interesting like
Yeah.
oh they don't do that often.
Yeah. I don't, and again, I thought it was weird that they introduced this new type and they're immediately like, "Oh, look, Eevee gets that type." When there's plenty of types that Eevee didn't already have an evolution for.
I feel that.
I was just like,
and it's weird because fairy's now one of those ones that like there's few and far in between of them, and it's the same with like I mean not that there are necessarily few. I guess I can name a good couple of steel and ice types, but steel and ice has always been like one of the weaker represented. Like it doesn't have a lot of utility.
It's also what, double weak to fire.
Steel and ice together would be, but I'm talking about just
exactly.
like steel Pokemon and ice Pokemon in
separate.
general.
Yeah, no, I get that.
See, fairy to a degree can be super overpowered because two of the fairy types that I used were Sylveon in X and Y. That was my strongest Pokemon in the entire game, and then my first level 100 that I raced level 100 was my Alolan Ninetales, and that Pokemon
Was Alolan Ninetales fairy type?
Yeah,
I
thought
it was
was
Ice
ice
and
and
Fairy.
fairy.
Interesting.
Alolan Ninetales is probably my favorite Pokemon, but she was super overpowered. I'll super admit that. But
Yeah, I feel like again,
Sorry, officer. Sorry, officer. You're super.
again, I
Guilty.
feel like X and Y, like it was easy to become overpowered if like certainly if you just exploited the typing game real hard.
Yeah.
Like, playing on hard mode, we would be playing with like Pokemon you like instead of just like putting on types.
And that's why people
and covering types and shit.
Yeah, and that's why people, if they want to play the game hard, they'll do the Nuzlocke stuff.
Yeah.
Which I've maybe done once and got mad at.
What's super fun to watch on like Twitch or whatever is people doing the randomized Nuzlocks.
Yeah.
With random, not only are they random Pokemon, but the moves they know are also random.
and
So
they're
the typing and
so
everything.
a Squirtle could know Flamethrower at level 2.
and be an electric type.
And be it won't change its like
Type
weaknesses,
base type.
but
There are randomizers that'll make it so that like
good.
Yeah,
oh my god.
yeah, the Ray from Achievement Hunter.
Yep.
He does
Watch
stream,
him do
he
that.
does streams all the time where he'll just do randomizers where it's like all the starters are completely random and none of them are the typing that they normally are.
You know what thing I like to watch? Getting away from Pokemon for just a minute. I like to watch the randomized Resident Evil, where they do like... So the OG Resident Evil games, whenever you go through a door, it would like do the door opening animation and then open up to a new area.
Yeah.
There are randomizers where like it'll do that little cutscene where like open the door
But he's
and you're at the
somewhere.
final boss or like things like that where it's just like completely randomized. Don't know what room it's going to take you
Makes
into.
it like a roguelike.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and you have to find all the shit still. And you might try to get back to that, and it's like, alright, I just went through this door. It's still going to take me somewhere different now.
Weird, man.
They're just fun to watch. They're just interesting. I like watching people's panic when something bad happens.
Yeah, I honestly can't stand to watch the ones where... I like the games where it's like it randomizes all the Pokemon, so like you can find random Pokemon in new places. Because like I felt like one of the things playing those games is like sometimes I wish I could like build a team of like other Pokemon to play through it with, but like you can only find certain Pokemon in certain areas of the game, so like it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to like just take a bunch of Pokemon, like newly hatched Pokemon, and take them out of the Pokebank and like put those in and be like, "This is the team I'm going to use to play this
baby
game
squad.
through. This baby squad is what I'm going to use to play the game."
Well,
But
see,
like that thing where it does random moves would infuriate me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pokemon games tend to take a little bit longer for me because I really like to make sure I have a solid team.
Oh yeah.
And so I know people that'll beat Pokemon within like 2-3 days of it coming out, and it's like I'm at the second or third gym. So I've always liked to take my time with Pokemon a little bit more.
My friends beat X and Y the day it came out.
What?
I think I beat mine
We
2 or 3 days after.
we stayed up pretty much.
Or no, not X
playing
and Y.
it, and I ended up just going home because I live right next door. But at the same time, I was like, okay, this is too fucking boring. I just went home.
I beat Sun and Moon in about that like 2 or 3 days, and that's because that one was super easy. Like they just lay everything out for you in that one. Like any gym, all the Pokemon that gym is going to be weak to are all around it. Like that's your hint.
They
It's
were
like
racing each other, so like that didn't help at all. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't give a shit about what was going on in the game. They were just trying to beat each other.
I hope that in this new game they do have cutscenes that are skippable because those cutscenes started to become so unbearably dry to sit through. Which I know there's going to be more personality in this new one. But
Same.
man,
Let's talk about this new generation. I like the look of these starters.
I like what I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, let's start
I
with the
will
pros.
say
We'll move
that.
into the cons.
I like the look of these
So,
starters. They all look cute.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I like their evolutions. I was real hyped when I saw because it's rare that I look at all 3 starters and I'm like, I like all these.
Mhm.
What do we think their second typing is going to be? Because it looks to me like we're going to have another firefighting.
I think we'll get electric and ghost and
Who's gonna be
hold
Ghost?
on. Electric fire.
Yeah.
And then ghost.
what was it that I had seen? Ghost, water,
Okay.
and then
Fighting grass.
Fighting
That
grass would be kind of
is
cool.
Oh, I'm Grookey with a fucking bow staff. That'd be
Grookey,
dope.
I could see
That would be
Grookey being a
Yeah.
fighting type.
So that's what I've
But,
seen, and
like-
I've been like, that sounds cool.
They haven't done it before, and I'm not saying they're not going to,
Mhm.
but it would be very intriguing to me if they gave a secondary typing that was another element to
Mhm.
a starter. Because they've
Mhm.
never done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I just think it fits, and I think that would be
And
cool.
if they do, another thing, and it doesn't follow this formula all the time.
Wait.
but in past games,
last game in Sun and Moon, I know the
Sun and Moon,
Rowlet was
Ghost
Just Dark
Grass,
Ghost.
Dark Water. Oh no, Ghost Grass, Water Fairy, Dark Fire.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay.
And what I'm trying to say is that obviously the starters are a weakness triangle. Usually, for the most part, for these last couple of generations, their secondary typing follows the same triangle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to me if one, the element thing, but also if they broke the
If they
secondary
flipped it
triangle
the other way around.
like if they broke the triangle
Yeah.
in general
Yeah.
and didn't follow that, because say with X and Y, Psychic was weak to Dark,
Mhm.
and Fire is also weak
Oh
to
yeah,
Water.
no, I know what
and
you
then
mean.
the,
Yeah. Followed that same flow.
yeah, follow that same triangle. So
That's just the theory I've seen, and I'm like, oh, I would like that. That'd be neato.
depending on what Grookey looked like, I would really like to see him as I could see him as a fighting type, and that'd be cool. I could see him as a dark type, and that would be cool.
What if he turns into a giant gorilla
I mean, that's what everybody's guessing. he's
with a
going to turn
big,
With just a big
bow-
log.
big bow staff?
I've seen the
Yeah,
bow staff,
dude.
but I've also seen like tree trunks as like punching gloves.
Oh,
Oh
that'd be
man.
spooky.
Yeah. And then I've seen where Sobble turns into Ghost because like invisible.
He looks so sad. Yeah, and he is transparent and stuff.
Oh, that's a good way they can make that work.
I mean, it would be interesting because in the little Pokédex stuff they've released for him, they say that when he cries, it makes other things cry. So if he has that kind of spectral effect,
that could be
or
a
he
new,
Like
like
a little baby boy.
that could be a cool move they could introduce with him, a cool status effect.
yeah,
It'd probably be like some kind of paralysis or something.
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
had to do it with
like
what
the special effect starters can have.
Yeah.
Most starters have the same in a pinch they power up whatever their typing is. But if you hatch one, sometimes they have the
special
secondary
ability.
effect.
Yeah.
That's special to them most of the time.
Mhm.
So that would be interesting.
I think that would be a neat typing. But yeah, no, like you said, I'm excited to see where these ones go.
And I like that big giant metal crow thing.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah,
I like that he's
some of the new
huge.
designs look really cool for these new Pokemon.
Did you see the Corgi?
Oh,
Yeah, they've got new
Yamper.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Corgi with the big
He's
heart
got a
butt.
little,
Is he
he's got
just
a
gonna be
little
normal?
lightning bolt tail.
Probably
No, he's
normal.
electric. He's electric.
He's got a little lightning bolt tail.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
And
electric
then-
type.
Did y'all see the imp? Like the little demon boy?
Oh no.
No.
Yeah,
Demon
it's-
boy?
Yeah, there's a little sleep paralysis demon. I think it's Little Imp.
Little Imp.
It's your boy, Little
Devin?
Limp.
No.
Jared, you doing all right over there?
Yeah.
Man, you are.
You need a coffee? You good?
Yeah, you're
No, I'm fine.
You're cozy over there. I see your eyes drooping. You're like, yeah, I'm listening about Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm just listening. I don't know, man.
Yeah, this boy.
Impidimp?
Impidimp.
Oh, he's wacky.
He's a wacky.
He looks like a
zany.
SoundCloud rapper.
It's fucking Freddy Freaker. What the hell?
Exactly! He's Freddy Freaker.
That's all I can see with that.
No, I do want to. They
It's
introduced.
part free.
He was in the most recent demo that they had at E3. E3. Yeah, I'm curious as to where he goes because you telling me there's a Pokemon that's based on like Imp Demon. That could go somewhere cool, or it could stay goofy, and it'll probably stay goofy.
And then Wooloo is obviously really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just I'm gonna vent Oliver's wife's frustration. Can we just get the fucking rest of the evolutions and stop fucking putting it off? Not doing it at all?
What my thought is, what my hope is, what I want from this specific game, since it's UK based, since it's British based, I want a dragon type Eevee, and I want an iron type Eevee. And the iron one needs to look like it's like wearing armor, and the dragon one's obviously gotta look like European dragony.
I saw like concepts for evolutions, and one of my favorites that was like a drawn up one was the fighter Eevee. It was like brown with like white tips, and it was like looking rough fur. It had like bandages on its like front paws.
Yeah.
And his name was Champion.
That's good. I like that one. The thing is, eventually they're gonna have to do a Ghost Eevee.
Evolutions are too cute. Man.
Eventually they're gonna have to do a Ghost Eevee, and she's gonna have to live with that.
It's just the
my
way
my wife really loves Eevee and all the evolutions, and the thought of a Ghost Eevee will probably make her cry. I will be honest, she is sensitive.
It's fine.
Yeah, but she'll just forget about that part.
Either it's going to be a dead Eevee, or it's going to be an Eevee that's been abandoned or something.
It's like that meme where it's like, use this rock to make Ghost Eevee.
It's just a normal rock.
Yeah, there's like like the concepts, and I'll put them on screen, but like the one that was like ghost type was very spectral, and like the legs weren't there, but it had feet, and it was very purple and misty.
All right. While we're on this, what's everybody's favorite evolution that does exist? Mine is Vaporeon. I love that little mermaid kitty.
And if you need a reference, they're right there.
I've never been a huge user of like the actual evolutions,
But just like aesthetically.
Aesthetically,
I think Vaporeon's just the cute. If I had to have one, I would pick the little water kitty.
probably Espeon.
Oh, same.
That's a good choice.
I've loved Espeon since.
I feel like Espeon is a fan favorite.
Is that the psychic one?
Is it really?
Yeah.
I feel like Flareon's the fan favorite, or Sylveon.
I think it's just Umbreon and Espeon.
Yeah, those two, because they're like they're not polar opposites of each other, but it's like Umbreon is a huge tank. Espeon has a really high special attack.
Sure, yeah.
But I think Espeon is just I like the design a lot more.
Regular old Eevee for me.
Yeah.
That boy.
Never.
Yeah, I love that design more than anything.
It looks like a Finnick Fox.
Yeah, it's the cutest thing ever.
I also like I like Sylveon a lot too. So
yeah, Sylveon's good, but I didn't want to say Sylveon because I thought that was the
fan favorite.
Safe one. But
yeah, but Espeon is my I've always had an Espeon on my team.
Actually, scratch that. I like Eevee and Glaceon.
Glaceon's good too.
I've never used a Glaceon. I've never even gotten one.
No one gives any love for Glaceon.
I like Glaceon. Glaceon was Diamond Pearl.
As far as like what I understand of the meta implications of a lot of these Pokemon is that Glaceon's not any good and Flareon's not any good.
Yeah.
That they both just don't get like the natural stat boost they need to be good at what they're supposed to be doing.
There's better versions, or there's better
like
that
the good ones are like Umbreon, Sylveon, Espeon, kind of Vaporeon.
I'd probably take Leafeon. Little cat.
Leafeon has some pretty
I
solid
love Leafy.
stats.
Yeah.
Leafy is
Leafeon's like middle of the road. The uber ones are like Umbreon, Espeon. The like weak tier ones are like Flareon, Glaceon.
Bogus trash. I don't know what I guess what type would you want to see next as far as Umbreon? Like I said, I want to see this Steel and Dragon.
The Steel one is a really good idea just because of the whole night aesthetic. I feel like would go well with this game.
I feel like we're overdue for Poison.
What would you want to see them do for that one? Like, what would that look like? Like a
sick
scorpion
kitty.
tail,
vomit kitty.
I can pull
It's
up
just
these.
a purple cat with like a
Then
sticker
it
wrap
scrolls.
around its body that just has the skull and crossbones on it.
It's just got an expiration date on it, but it's from like when Pokemon came out. So.
Toxic.
That would be. that'd be
just
too
coughs up
self-aware,
little
but really
slime
funny.
balls of poison at
Yeah,
people.
I think it would just be pretty close to the original basis of Eevee, but it would just be like
Hazmat suit.
no,
2319.
I think you would just
They made
be
it like radiation-y looking, like it's like glowing green.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
kinda
think
cool.
that would be a good way to do it.
That'd be kind of neat.
Make it like Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger's cat.
You
Yeah,
can,
like-
you can make it almost look kind of like not scaly.
It's a
but,
box, but it's got little like
Legs
feet poking
poking
out.
out.
from
Yeah,
underneath it.
actually, I think if you try to make it look kind of scaly, almost snake-like in
Mhm.
form, I think that would be a really
More
cool poison.
serpenty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So rather than like a muck kind of poison, make it
Echinzion.
like snake.
A predator.
Yeah.
Echinzion.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Echinzion.
So you can
Yeah,
you can
Echinzion.
raise it. You can make it like it's really fast and its attack stats are really high.
I found that video I was talking about that made mock-ups of different fights. That's the fighting one.
Yeah.
Champion.
I didn't even think about.
Looks like a Rottweiler.
Yeah. Let me.
It
I'm
looks
just gonna
that one
keep
looks kind of like
going.
Houndoom, honestly.
I like Sandshrew. Sorry, that was just out of nowhere, but like
No.
Sandshrews a cool
I
one.
was thinking of the design of it.
What do you
It's
think
like
of?
so cute.
What do you think of the ice version?
Yeah, the Alolan version.
Cool ice
I've never
version.
seen it.
Oh,
I like
it's
it.
cute. It's
I
a
like
little
the,
ice version.
I
It's
even like
blue.
the
It's ice and steel. Yeah, it's just blue, but like Sand Slash, instead of looking like he's got rock spikes, he looks like he's
Like
a
glacier
glacial
Mm.
thing. He
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like a little igloo in the
That
ice
one.
version.
Yeah, he's got a
It's
little
cute.
igloo head.
Yeah, this is
I like the
someone.
original
This is someone's
one.
ghost mock-up.
That one's really cute.
Fanteon. It's like
That's pretty cool.
it's like purple and light blue.
Ooh, I do like that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah,
Very
I think.
I'm trying to find that poison one now we're talking about.
Honestly, if they made the ghost type kind of like a blink dog or something from D&D to that degree,
That'd be really cool, but
that would be cool.
like
Yeah,
just kind of like not a design, but like
I know what you're talking about, like the ability or whatever.
yeah,
like
just
the-
make it real sleek.
There's a poison one.
I don't
Goopy.
know.
It's a little goopy.
I could see it being goopy too. So
if they
It's got
did
a long-
it that
It's
way.
got a long salamander tail.
Yeah, it looked kind of like they mocked that up from like Gudra.
yeah,
Guichi.
Yeah,
We're still on it.
I'm trying to think of another type we could see.
Never forget Guichi.
Steel.
Still would be cool. Just give
I
it
like
a
the
random-
idea of the knight though.
His
Even though
head
it's-
looks like an
Mm,
orca.
I like the night idea better than like a Gears
You
thing.
know what I mean?
Or like
So-
a mech kitty.
He looks like a Gastrodon head.
So if everyone here had to pick one type to be at a gym, like if you were a gym leader and you had to pick your type, what would you
I
want?
already know my type.
Sorry, that was really.
Do they typically have two types?
No,
Or
it's,
is it just one?
it's normally
one.
one base. They may have some that have multi-types, but
Dragon.
it's,
I would run an electric type gym.
I think I'd go psychic. I really like psychic types.
I don't know, man. I guess I'm tied between dragon and ghost.
I feel like, knowing you, I feel like Ghost would be more your thing.
Ghost would be solid for you.
I can list off way more ghost or dragon types that I like than ghost types.
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
It'd just be
But
a
yeah.
dark gym.
Yeah. That's
For me.
pretty much.
You
Electric
do a
type,
dark.
Yeah.
I would do a grass, but have it like a mountainous forest, like the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, you're talking about like in the aesthetic.
yeah.
Aesthetic of your
That would
gym.
actually be really cool.
Yeah.
And
The lights would just be off in mine.
Yeah, my boss.
Just a warehouse.
See,
You just see Jared's eyeball.
the thing I like about the idea of a dark gym is dark tends to be a secondary type. So you could easily use like Luxray, who's electric and dark. You use Houndoom, who is dark and fire.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Like you would really have
Certainly.
to plan for a dark gym
I
because
want a
you don't
ghost
know what the
dragon
secondary
type.
types they use would be.
Yeah.
I want a ghost dragon type. How cool would that be if it was like a reanimated like dragon
That would
skeleton
be
or
really
something?
cool.
Oh, yeah. Also, a random thing going back on the fairy type for 2 seconds. You know the Pokemon Spirit Tube?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before fairy, he had no weaknesses.
Really?
Because he's
I didn't know
only
that.
weak to
That's right.
fairy.
that's right.
That's another thing that was weird.
Okay.
That
that's
was like
weird.
a weird meta before fairy type existed.
What type is he?
He's dark and ghost.
And that
He had
counteracts
no
each other.
weakness. Because he wasn't weak to Sidekick or, because he had dark.
Or it wasn't weak to.
Yeah, he wasn't weak to what Dark is weak to because he had Ghost.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, weird little side note there.
What do you think? So we've heard what the EV types would be. What do you think the reason for those EVs would be?
do you mean?
Like what would you trigger? What would trigger that
I think
evolution?
You find a knight helmet, you knight Eevee.
I mean, they
Slap
already
it
have,
on their
they already
face
have
and
like
just-
the metal coat thing
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
like Onyx to Steelix.
Well, like,
and
they started
Scizor
doing
to-
the stuff-
or Scyther to Scizor.
Well, I'm talking about like they've got the friendship levels for some of them.
Yeah.
For some of them, they've got the you put the rock on it and the rock changes it. For some of them, they've got you take it to the specific spot and it'll transform.
I think the metal coat would be.
Is
a
that-
good
They haven't
one.
done it with
Type of
Eevee, but for like the Tyrogue to like Hitmonchan, Hitmontop, Hitmonlee, they had it to where like it had to be a certain level, and then whatever its stats were determined it. Which
Well, and then they did the thing.
Would be interesting.
They did the thing for Inkay where it had to be a certain level, and then
you
as
flip
it was leveling up, you had to turn your DS upside down, and then it would evolve.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. No, it was a funny thing. But
Just whoa your DS.
that was a strong Pokemon. That thing
Yeah, I
turned
loved
into.
that thing.
It was like dark and psychic. It was a strong Pokemon.
How would we trigger a poison Pokemon? Just fucking pour arsenic down your Eevee's
I was about to
throat.
say I don't want to. That's how you get a ghost type.
Yeah, the item is just brick for a ghost type.
Jeez.
No,
I don't know how you trigger.
That one hit late with Jared.
I had to think about it. I was like, brick. Oh,
Brick.
This would be a really sad way. Like, if you wanted to do the ghost type, if you were just like, yeah, you take it to a graveyard and you like show it a tombstone, and then it's like, oh, that's my trainer, and then like dies and becomes a ghost.
Maybe just starts bawling.
Fucking
Or
commits some poo.
you have to leave it somewhere and then come back.
You leave it at the
later.
graveyard.
You have to leave it. You have to throw it off a bridge or something.
Put it in a
This
trash
is-
bag.
Yeah, man, this shit's intense.
What the fuck?
I really am curious as to how the poison would work, though. How would we do that?
I want to type snap smoke.
I think if they did it, if they did a poison type, I think it would wind up being like a radiation themed one or a nuclear themed one, and I
And
think
you take it to a certain area,
Be
like,
like
you
a
can blow
Chernobyl.
shit
yeah,
up.
Yeah, see,
a
that's
radiated
that's
I'm
why-
so
area.
glad
I
you picked
think they-
Chernobyl and not the other nuclear places.
I think with the poison Eevee, they could easily mix the like droopiness and the scaly aspect of it.
Yeah, make him like a little lizard.
Give him a little fang.
Ooh.
Back on that gym thing, I personally have
What would your
thought
aesthetic
about
for your
this.
gym be?
I don't know about my aesthetic. I do know what team of Pokemon I would
Oh,
use. I would definitely go with an Electros from Black and White. I do like Electros. It's like the weird eel-looking
Yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah, with like the arms and legs.
A Gavantula, big old the
I love
tarantula.
those.
Yeah, I really like that.
It's
one.
weird that it evolves from a pig.
Specifically an Alolan Golem, the one that has like the big
Yes.
like electric. It's like rock and electric. Golem was the big rock.
Oh
round
yeah,
one from
sorry.
first gen.
He's got the mustache.
Yeah, he has the mustache and like the big like electric thing on top of his back, and
Like the electrodes or
an
whatever.
Electivire, which is personally just one of my favorite Pokemon. He's the evolved form of Electabuzz they introduced in 4th gen.
I thought that those evolutions looked weird. Those ones looked like they were like trying really hard, but they
I
looked
liked
cool.
them though.
Yeah.
I wish they would have done more of that, where they were like they give evolutions
That only
create
had two,
yeah,
or
like something like that. They
previously
give like
only had
more
one.
evolutions to
Yeah.
stuff.
That would just be a shit ton of Darkrai.
Oh, so
And
Darkrai's
then,
cool. Darkrai's a cool legendary.
It's
I'd
my
also have
favorite
an
legendary
Ampharos.
almost. Suicune's my favorite.
also that video that I had the evolutions pull up. Someone did like a mock-up for the like if you just evolve it and it's like it stays a normal type, it just becomes a bigger Eevee.
so it
Greatest
stays normal
Eevee?
type.
Evian.
So what was you had?
Yeah, so the Electros, the Garvantula, the Alolan Golem, the Electivire, an Ampharos,
Ampharos is one of the best electric
and an
types.
Alolan Raichu to round it all out.
I like
That
Alolan
psychic-
Raichu so
that
much.
psychic surfing Raichu.
So we're going with a full 16.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's at least what I had been thinking about this for a minute, so I was just like, what would I pick? So that's personally me.
I already said mine. It was a shit ton of Darkrai.
I think with Psychic,
You thought you've defeated me. Here's another dark.
with Psychic, you can't go without an Alakazam. Alakazam is kind of a like base Psychic Pokemon. I want an Espeon. That's one of my favorites.
Take his spoons away.
Not when he mega evolves. He's got all the spoons.
You
Gar-
take him away and
Take
replace
all the
him with
spoons away.
forks. He
I
doesn't
like-
know what to do.
I like
Magnet.
Gardevoir because it's a Psychic and Fairy, and
That's a beautiful
it's got a
choice.
Mega Evolution with it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I really like Metagross. Metagross is like mainly Steel, but he's also Psychic, and
Big
he's
boy.
he's one of my favorites. I used him a lot in the past 2 generations.
He's one of those pseudo legendaries that was really good when he came out.
Regigigas.
No, that is a legendary.
I fucking don't like that.
I think a Slowbro would be good too because he's Water and Psychic. So.
Trevenant, Chandelure,
You're still going with Ghost.
yeah,
Chandeler's cute.
Gengar, obviously, Mimikyu, Where am I at?
That's
4.
Oh, what's that one?
Alolan Marowak.
Oh yeah, that is a ghost type.
For a second, I was like, is that dark?
No, that is a ghost type.
Ghost Fire, I think.
He's
Yes, Ghost Fire.
Little pink teddy bear that's seen some shit.
That pink teddy bear.
That's a
That's fighting.
Esper.
No, you're talking.
No, he's
But that's the psychic type.
It's the
That's
big
psychic.
looking teddy bear thing.
No, I'm thinking of Esper.
Okay.
Oh, Esper. Okay, gotcha.
I don't think he was thinking of a ghost type. He was just like, "What's the name of that Pokemon?"
Yeah, the Pokemon that's like seen some
Who's
shit.
that Pokemon? It's
Yeah.
Pikachu.
It's Clefairy.
I'm trying to think of the last one. I mean, maybe Banette. I don't know. Like, I'd say Giratina if a gym leader was allowed to have a legendary.
Go with
Imagine
Spiritomb. Creepy
going
looking.
to a gym and you're like, you get done to the last Pokemon and they throw out a
Phantom.
fucking god at you.
Phantom.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what Phantom.
Or no,
was
sorry.
like.
No, what's the like? It looks like a sarcophagus.
Oh, it's like I don't remember what. Yeah, it has like its
Put 'em in a
name is a
coffin.
play.
It's
the
like
name is a
sarcophagus.
play
It's-
on a
yeah.
sarcophagus. It's from Black and White, and it has
Yeah.
like a bunch of hands coming out
It
of
looks
it.
like a sarcophagus, yeah, with like little spirity hands
Yeah.
coming out.
And its name is a play on the word sarcophagus.
It
Or
is-
Comatose.
All right, Giles.
So-
Is it
Sarcophagus?
It's
Let me see.
Is it
so I'm gonna
6
go-
dittos
really
disguised as
No,
grass type?
It's not. So I'm going to get a little off beat here. I'm going to be something different that I don't think has been done before.
Uh-huh.
Where it's not my gym isn't certain to like
Alpha-Grigus?
circled around a type.
Alpha-Grigus.
Okay.
Right?
Your gym is not circled around.
You
type.
come in, it's a wooded forest, and
Oh,
you have
so
to
it's-
climb like a wooded mountain.
Are they going to be more based on the aesthetic of the
Yes.
forest? Okay.
And
Ah.
inside,
I'm big
my
fucking manky.
my gym is bear Pokemon.
Just bear That is
So you got-
great.
So you got
I like that.
you got
Australian drop bears, dude.
so you got
They've got a koala one.
Snorlax.
Snorlax, okay.
You got Ursang.
Ursaring.
The
Yeah.
Teddy Ursa evolution.
Yeah, Ursaring.
You got Beartic, like the
Mhm.
ice bear.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
polar bear.
big ice bear. Yeah.
He'll be like at the top of the mountain.
Mhm.
Oh, so you have to fight them as you're climbing.
Yeah, you got
He's at the top. He's the snowcat peak one.
Then you got the Pangaroo.
Yeah, Kangaroo. Yeah.
This is-
I really
oh,
like
that's-
Kangaroo.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
This
Big,
is
dark,
this
fighting
is such a.
panda Pokemon.
I can only
yeah.
remember
And
the
then-
first one.
Of course, you gotta
Pancham.
get the scary boy, Beware.
Yes.
And then there's all.
That's the last Pokemon.
Yeah, and then
to
that's
fight.
the only
last one.
5. That's only 5.
Beware.
And my last will be my a Ditto. He's been disguised as a tree.
But he comes
And
at
he
you
comes
like
out.
a bear.
He comes out and transforms into whatever you got.
He's mocking a pseudo.
Honestly, this whole like making a gym aesthetic and then filling Pokemon in it that fit the aesthetic is
I
a
like that
genius
idea, though. I like that
So
idea.
people come in thinking it's gonna be grass or it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay,
something
so-
like that.
And you got
Let's-
fucking yeeted with
That's
an
a
ice type.
genius idea.
Let's do it based on that. So, would you still do electric in that case?
I mean, I'm trying to. My mind is racing. I need a second.
Because
I
I,
don't
think
even
I think
know.
with yours,
I
right?
hit
If
you
you
with a
did like
fucking
a
curveball.
if you did like a neon themed, like kind of Japanese or whatever, and then you
Yeah.
had like the whole electric thing going on, I think that'd be really
It could
cool.
be like a club.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu.
Detective
Yeah,
Pikachu.
that's-
I'm thinking like the like
Pikachu.
Japan, like Harajuku, like it's got
Yeah,
all the neon,
neon
lights and
lights
stuff.
at night.
Yeah.
That's correct. I don't think I have one that I could flesh out.
I fucking just.
on the
That's a good
spot,
one.
but that's a
I mean-
really interesting thought.
I also like the idea of monkeys.
Yeah, monkeys.
Mine would be a
Monkey Pokemon.
luxurious nightclub, but everything's painted in Vanta black, so it just
It's
looks
a
like you're
void.
nothing.
Oh man.
Would it be a fancy nightclub or like a?
Well, you can't really tell if it's fancy because everything's
Black.
fucking.
Okay, if I
big
turn
black.
on the lights, though, what would I see?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's what Vanta black is.
Oh, okay.
And it would get extremely hot in there, but
What Pokemon would you use? Would it still be just Darkrai?
yeah, because they're black.
Here's what I picture
I was
yours
born
being.
in the darkness.
I picture yours being like real like extravagant, and you've just
Yeah.
got like the sexy Pokemon. So you've got like Gardevoir.
Yeah, that would be it'd be a strip club, and it'd be it'd be Gardevoir, Lopunny, or whatever. her
Lopunny,
name is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know, man. These past
Jinx.
episodes that have been put out, man, you're starting to seem like a furry more and more each time.
What do you mean you've been furry the whole time?
He's just like sexy Pokemon. Fuck off.
So you'd
And
have
we have the Delphox thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
Delphox
Delphox.
100%.
And then the last one
like
will be
Delphox.
Machamp.
No.
For the ladies.
Nah, ladies get nothing in this club. It's only men's.
What about Jinx?
No, dude.
No,
nah,
not hot enough for you.
Nah. Unless it was like.
What about
a
Metachan with them thick hips?
Which one's that one? Wait, show me a picture of that one.
Metachan
I need to
has,
see if she's
the-
worthy of this club.
It's the one with the big thick hips.
What about Bellsprout?
Bells?
Looks like a
Got
fucking
that-
flashlight.
Got that big mouth.
No.
It's funny because I recently watched iDubbbz and his friend like do that tier list where it's like sexiest Pokemon.
Yeah, I passed that one.
Mr. Mom.
It was funny because they're making mostly jokes,
Yeah.
but like they did discuss some interesting things, and they decided that because in the Pokédex it says that Ditto can not only transform to look like something but changes
People.
its cellular structure.
Yeah.
That Ditto is obviously triple S tier, and is the
Triple
best.
S
Is the
tier.
best.
It'd be Ninetales, Lopunny.
Oh, Ninetales.
Ooh.
What was the other ones that you said that was?
I don't think
fuck.
for me Ninetales isn't anthropomorphic enough to look at in
There's
that
other
way.
Pokemon there.
That's Medicham, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Let me see.
Thick hips.
Thick thighs.
Nah, man.
Some titty
They
knees.
kind of look like a ball sack.
Yeah, right. I guess I could open up one section of it to like the female side, the other section to the men. So
Yeah.
it would just be a bunch of like Machops and like Hitmonlees and
Machamps and-
Hitmonchan stuff like that.
Yeah.
The Hitmonlee just looks
Yeah,
like
that's,
it just looks like Penny from Amazing World of Gumball.
Yeah, kind of.
So,
Yeah.
so since we've done everyone's gym type, let's just go to general like your like A+ team of just like any type you want to make.
6 Darkrai's.
Stack, bitch.
6 Beedoops.
Arceus.
Dude, Bidoof would okay.
He-
You
all of a
saw-
sudden he
you-
needed Bidoof. All right.
He'll be the bouncer.
He'll be the bouncer. My team would be a Charizard, an Electivire, a Nidoking,
Oh, Nidoking.
a Vaporeon, a Decidueye, which is the owl archer,
Decidueye, yeah.
and funny enough, a Pangoro, the bear.
Yeah.
Solid. I'd have to
I like-
go.
I picked this team because I like all those Pokemon, and also it rounds me out on typing. I was very methodical with that.
Oliver's trying to make it sound like I was like, oh man, I'm just casual. This guy's been thinking about this for like 3 weeks because we started talking about it at the D&D session we had.
Yeah.
It's like my mind's racing, Charles. I'm like, yeah, man, let's go get McDonald's.
I'm so fired up, dude.
So
I love Pokemon.
So I would start with Luxray just to get Electric and Dark, and Luxray can be really overpowered if you get the right one. For Ice and Fairy, I'll go with Alolan Ninetales. And for Fire, I'd either go with a straight up Ninetales or an Infernape, because Infernape I thought was one of the better fire starters. Psychic and Steel, I'd go with Metagross. Grass, I can't really tell. I'd either go with Leafeon or.
Oh, are you trying to go with like specific?
He's rounding out typing.
Yeah,
I
round
did
out
as well
typing,
in
too.
mine,
Oh,
but
I'm-
again,
I'm-
I thought of this
I
before.
always round out typing. Grass, I'd go with Meganium or Leafeon.
Mine would maybe change a little if it was just like your favorite 6 Pokemon ever.
When I say dream team, I'm picking like the ones that I want,
Yeah.
not the ones that like, I would need.
And I know Grant's gonna have this one, but Garchomp would be on my team too.
Garchomp's a solid Pokemon.
I'm straight sticking with my gym lineup.
All bears.
And my
All bears and a
Ditto.
Ditto.
Yeah, my Ditto would be my always out boy.
Like your band name. Like your band name is just 5 bears and a Ditto.
Yeah, like you know how Ash has Pikachu. My Ditto stays out. He like forms into a hat and he sits on my head.
Weird, but alright.
Yeah, he likes it. He sunbathes.
You got a goopy head.
No, he changes his cellular structure into a hat. With eyes.
Oh
my god, I love it.
Little eyes
It's
on.
It's like
Mario
Mario
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
If I had to pick, we're going Noivern.
Mm-hmm.
We're going Garchomp.
Mhm.
I don't want to say Haxu because we've already got 2 dragons on this list. We'll go Gengar. Metagross.
Mhm.
Tyranitar.
Tyranitar is a good one.
What's his typing?
He's dark and rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the big.
This
He's like.
man-
He's the
Encyclopedia.
Godzilla. He's the Godzilla.
I am not
boy.
always right about Pokemon. I've just played a whole lot of it.
And then I need one more boy. No, not to
Ted.
Do not want to pig.
What's up, sport?
I'll say Haxu,
For
just
you
because
old internet
I need a
viewers
sixth.
a little bit.
Some solid teams here. I think
Fuck.
5 bears and a ditto is pretty solid.
That's scary.
I think that would win.
5 bears and a ditto.
I think I'd let
We
them.
stay in the woods until they're all level 100.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Imagine, like, you know, his gym is the
remember-
third, right?
Wait, I like how Grant is just like showing me pictures of Pokemon and he's just like, what's this?
Well, I was
What
showing,
the
I
heck?
was showing Jared the Gothette one because
Yeah.
you know, or
Gothina,
Gothitelle or whatever,
Business to run.
because he has a business to run. And yeah, the first one's Gotharita, which is like
Yeah.
lonely. So
Anyways.
Just imagine that Giles' gym is like the third or fourth gym, and you're like, you know, in your level, your 20s.
You get it by now.
this is your most
Yeah,
valued
and then it's
customer.
just level
He just
100
can't keep his pants
bears.
up.
Yeah, no one survives my gym. They all get mauled by bears.
It's life or death.
The bears eat the loser.
So someone
That's
approaches
like a
someone
mountain
approaches your
of-
gym, and you're just like, this isn't supposed to be the third. This is supposed to be like the final thing. Oh, why are you here?
I'm past the Elite Four.
Oh no, it's a psychological thing. So look, you start at the bottom, and you like work your way up through like biomes. So like you got the normal pine trees for like the normal bear. You got the bamboo forest for the panda. You got leading
Ice
all the way
friend.
up to a peak with the ice bear, and then there's me at the pinnacle of the thing. The trainer comes up, and out from behind me steps themselves with a ditto face, and then turns into a ditto.
Oh my god.
That's creepy as fuck.
And they're
Strike.
all, if they survive that far.
Strike Haxu off my list.
All right.
We're putting on Tyrantrum.
Oh, that's
Oh,
actually
I
a
like
solid
that.
choice.
Well, a lot.
Little
Tyrant.
dinosaur boy.
Yeah, big old dinosaur.
Anjaneth, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Fucking Angie. Headless.
I guess mine would be Suicune, Delphox, Lopunny, Darkrai.
Darkrai.
Hey. Tentacle?
No.
Tentacruel.
Swampert.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I like
big
Swampert.
boy.
I do like Swampert a lot.
Samurai. Or whatever it's called. Oshawa's final form.
Oh yeah. I don't remember. I remember what it looks like. I don't remember its name.
I like it the way
It looks like
Is that
a-
5 or 6?
I think it was 6. That was 6.
I'm looking at these Ultra Beasts, man. I forgot about like
Ultra Beasts are
them.
weird, man. All right, so if we made a team together and we all there's 5 of us, right? We
Uh-huh.
all pick a Pokemon to contribute, and then we'll just say like maybe the 6th one is contributed by someone else, or it's just like something else. But if we all if we picked like a 5-man Pokemon team and we all contributed a Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
what would we want to contribute to the group?
What would I contribute to our
already
squad?
know.
Yes.
I would contribute an Electivire.
Real quick, a
Big
Ditto
boy.
is already innately in here because not only is he already going to pick that, but because we don't have a 6th person.
So we got 2 Dittos.
Oh, are you going to throw in a...
Yeah, that's my ditto, boy.
We got 2 Dittos.
It
And
transformed
Electivire.
into another Ditto.
I
Yeah.
want it back.
They morph together to make an Ultra Ditto.
Giles gets 2 just because it's both going to be Ditto.
Mhm.
No. We'll vote on the last one. Ditto is the one.
You're
We'll
picking a
overcome-
Ditto.
We'll overcome anything.
So we got
I'm-
Electivire,
Electivire, Ditto.
A Lopunny.
A lot
a
funny.
Lopunny. You are only cementing your fate as a furry.
Come after me, internet.
I will
You
punch.
meet me in my club, you gotta pay to get in. I'll get paid anyway.
Exactly.
So we're just
Why you
picking our
hating it?
favorite
Why you
team,
hating
it?
right?
Yeah, I mean, if just one you would contribute to a
Brown
team.
laugh.
You know,
Yeah,
your
Garchomp.
favorite one.
Garchomp.
Garchomp's a solid choice.
They came.
They came again.
I don't know. If
They saw each other's come, and then they came again.
I don't know if you paid attention to what we were saying, but like I said like a lyric and he was like laughing Chris Brown or something, and I was like, ha ha.
All right. Anyways, back to
Don't
Pokemon.
clap. I'll just put an emoji clap in there.
Good.
I do every single time. There was 8 last time.
All right. So Billy, what are you contributing?
Fuck. A little in Ninetales.
Fair.
Oh, I forgot they did a dragon fighting that last gen too.
Really?
Yeah. Komolo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
That
name?
big scaly
Come on.
dragon.
Oh
Big punchy
yeah, yeah. Okay, I remember that now. Well, I think we can all firmly say that we are fans of Pokemon, one way or another. Quick side note: did anybody play the card game?
No.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I did not.
all I did with the card game was I can't remember what the number was.
Not collected, but played the card.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, the way we played it was you would get a card and you'd be like, this Pokemon's clearly better than that one. I win.
That's kind of how we did it.
Yeah.
Or like they would have a number on there that I was like, this number's bigger. I
Because
won.
it plays like fucking Magic the Gathering. No
It
fucking
does.
1-year-old's gonna know how to do that, you know?
It
Some
does-
1-year-olds did.
It does kind of play like Magic.
It honestly
Yeah,
can
it's
feel
magic for babies.
It can feel a little more complicated than Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, it's definitely more complicated than Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could play Yu-Gi-Oh, but when the Pokemon card game, I looked into it, I was like, oh, I'm not about this.
I wouldn't mind collecting. Like I have seen Max Mofo's channel where like he does the card pack opening and
Mhm.
like
Mm-hmm.
all
I mean,
that.
the cards
stuff. And
are
I'm like,
neat.
That looks neat, but I don't want to spend that money.
Yeah. But I think we're gonna roll out the hypothetical train again, unless anybody's got any
Has
last
this
words for
not been the
Pokemon.
hypothetical train this
Yeah, I
entire
guess
time?
we've
We've
been mostly
Pokemon hypotheticaling, but
I'll
we're
make
about to
a
get off.
Hypotheticaling.
We're about to get into things that aren't related to Pokemon. If aliens came down, right? We're talking aliens. If aliens came to you and they asked you to come to their planet and live with them, would you go? And do you have any stipulations for going?
What
They
do they-
don't want to harm you.
What do they look like?
Dittos.
No, this is important.
Are they
Like-
fuckable?
Like, are they just like gelatinous cubes that are coming down? Like, come live with us.
We'll
like,
say-
Are they the aliens
We'll-
from Ultimate Team Hunger
We'll
Force?
say,
Like, no.
for the sake of this, they have similar forms to us in the sense that they are bipedal, they have limbs, and they're like a
they
life.
just come down.
They look like they would reasonably have the same kind of structures we do as far as like
They have
would need
chairs.
to eat. They would have maybe something to sit in. They would have a place to sleep. It's not like they're just like they're gas forms and they just hover around all
Yeah.
day and don't eat anything.
So they basically just like us, but they kind of look like, I don't know, Drax or like Mantis or something like that.
yeah, and they're like, we want you to come live on our planet.
Mhm.
So I would ask why.
Yeah, that's the first question.
Obviously, like, if they're not here to harm me, is your planet at war? Like, are you trying to like get me in here as like just? Is this the draft? Am I being drafted?
I wouldn't
I
go.
would be concerned.
I wouldn't go because it's like I wouldn't know anybody, and I already do not want to move to like away from.
People that
Yeah, like
you've
another,
already
like
become
another
comfortable
country
with.
or something.
Yeah, it's like moving to a completely like different place in the world, and you just.
But
like,
no one
with
else
no
has ever done it,
Wi-Fi.
and you're curious. I mean, like, you don't know.
But
what
then
they
if
have.
I go to eat something to survive, like I might eat something that's literally poisonous to
Would
the
it-
human race.
assume that they, because they're so close to us, I guess that they would have food that would be okay for us.
Yeah. Let's. Would it change your mind at all if they wanted to bring you, and they wanted to treat you like royalty?
No, it's never seen my family again.
Well, no.
Fair
You
enough.
said that we could pick our stipulations too.
Yeah. If you wanted to,
Your family could go, I guess.
Would you have any stipulations to going? If you were really interested in going, and you were like, but this thing.
If I'm going to be royalty, let me bring my wife and my cat.
Can I visit?
Fair.
Like, can I just visit Earth whenever I want? Like,
That could be your one thing.
Yeah.
It's like when I
Yeah,
want to come back,
like-
I want to come back.
yeah,
I'll go back and forth
yeah, like okay.
Okay, mine is
That's
I'll go
cool.
once a year
once a year
for 3 hours.
For 3 hours.
You don't want to like
Yeah.
spend the night?
No, bro.
You don't want to sleep over?
You don't want to
They might kill me in my sleep.
I'm about to.
They're
I
gonna
don't
kiss
want
you
them-
in your sleep.
They're gonna
They're
fucking catch me
You're
lying.
That
gonna
made
wake
me-
up and they're gonna be like all up on your neck.
Yeah.
You're gonna wake up and all of a sudden they just have this
Smooching.
weird sucker that comes out of their fingers.
Yeah.
You wake up and
you know how fucking scary that would be if they're just index fingers like as big as this, but it opened up and like something fucking huge came out, and you're like,
they say, will you go to our planet? And you say yes, and they strap you to a balloon, and no one ever sees you again.
exactly. That makes it even scarier.
They didn't say you were gonna survive the trip. They just said, "Do you want to go to our planet?"
Yeah, you want to go to our planet? They bring like a little tiny tube, and then they suck you up into the tube.
You're asleep, and you wake up, and they're just eating peanut butter by your head.
They just got a giant spoon that they've made from their finger that they're just like scooping.
That actually
peanut
drives
butter
me
out.
insane. I fucking hate the noise of people eating. Like, I would end it right then and there.
I would go under those stipulations.
Yeah,
So that you can
yeah.
you bring your wife and your cat.
And that I could come back.
Okay.
Not even if they needed me to be there most of the time, that I
Yeah.
could come back sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if I was a hero, like in an isekai going over there, like to protect their royal family.
Yeah.
What if
If
you
the,
got
if the 3
magical
hours
girl
is
powers
up
by
and
being
the
there?
king's
Oh,
about to
dude.
die, he's gonna die.
What if you got magical girl powers by being there?
Wait, what?
Hours
What if you got
is
a
up?
magical girl power by being there?
I got a
absolutely
magical
go.
girl power by
Yeah,
being
like you
there?
got a
I'd
whole
go.
transformation and everything.
I mean, everybody would see my dick though. So like,
They don't care.
No, it's tasteful. Like it
It's
covers you
yeah,
up.
it's
like a
you
big
see your
bright light.
silhouette.
It's like a knee. It's a kneeling skirt, right?
if I get a cute dress, maybe.
Cool.
Like in a cute
What
dress.
about you, Oliver?
I would probably go under like some conditions of like I want to be able to come back. I
Mhm.
want to be able to see people
Take
here
my
that I love
dog
and stuff like that.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, just go through 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just vacay there sometimes, maybe.
Give me some space Wi-Fi and allow me to come back when I want. I'll
I-
be good.
I'd go there and slap somebody, and once the 3 hours is up, they can't touch me anymore. I go home.
I got one.
Okay, go for it. It was an interesting. Yeah, let's just.
What is the worst person or creature, like that's a real creature, not like mythological creature, that you could be haunted by? That is like constantly haunting you,
What kind of what?
Okay, so
Like
a
a-
real thing
Mhm.
or a real person,
or a real person constantly bothering me.
haunting you, yeah, like bothering you.
Imagine Alex Jones just following you everywhere.
It's not haunting like they phase through my wall.
No, they're
Like,
ghosts. They're
oh,
ghosts.
it is a
They
ghost.
are
Got
ghosts.
it.
God.
Yes, that is
I'm
a
just
ghost.
making sure.
Of
Is it a
that
person? Okay.
I
Or of like if you had like the ghost of a horny cat following you and it was constantly like
Because if it was a ghost of a spider, I'd actually kill myself.
Of a spider?
of a spider,
Yeah.
You never know where it is. Every now and then you'll feel a little like.
you'll just feel the sputtering.
Oh, that would be
I'm
fun.
not-
You run into webs that aren't there.
I am
You'll see the
not
shadow of
fucking
it.
with that shit, dude. I would end it immediately upon the first spider web touching my nose.
Dude,
What if it
love
was?
that little
What if
spider.
it was Lucas the spider?
Oh.
I would still.
He'd smash it till it was a
Still.
little brown sponge.
Insane.
Oh my
I
god.
saw
I
that
hate
thing
it.
running through my house.
But if it was a person, like, I don't know, if like fucking Donald Trump was following me, probably,
Yeah, that would be
or
pretty
like Lil
bad.
Jon saying yeah over and over. Again.
Do they actually have to be dead or just anybody?
No,
that
it's-
would
it's-
find
it's
it
anybody.
insufferable?
What if it's
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey and he's just going, all right.
And it's like
No.
getting louder and echoing more.
He would be fine if he was just following me saying, "Wow." Like if he was just doing that.
Owen Wilson.
That's
Owen
Owen
Wilson.
Wilson. That's
Oh,
not
oh
Matthew
wait, what'd you
McConaughey.
say?
Matthew
I
McConaughey.
thought you said Owen Wilson. Sorry.
Wow.
You just hear that like it's
I'd
like
be
a.
okay with that.
There's not
Here in
even
the
big
background.
hallways in your house, but you hear it like it's echoing down to like a big corridor.
I
You
would
just
be
hear a wave
fine
of-
if it was a cat that was Owen Wilson's cat. Like just yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I'm saying
I
what
want
would
that
the,
cat in real life.
I'm saying what would the worst thing be?
Yeah.
What would the worst thing be?
I legitimately think Alex Jones.
Probably
would be
Cardi
pretty
B doing her fucking ow.
bad. Doing all her little noises.
But she does it. She does, her little ghost does it like fast past you, so it's like, ow.
That would be the worst.
Down the hallway, you
Thank
hear.
God.
You just hear oh, and then right in your ear.
You're trying to have a serious,
Okay.
you're trying to have a serious conversation with like your boss or something. All you hear is her talking about pussy. That's all you hear.
Like you're,
Vagina.
You're in bed in the middle of the night and you just hear, oh, and it sounds like it's downstairs, and you're like, what are they doing downstairs? And someone's like, oh. Right in your ear, right beside your bed.
Yeah, man, that was a spike.
That rip headphones.
Right.
Jesus.
Every time you answer a phone, like when it's ringing, all you hear is Oh. Like I would actually like get so pissed off at that.
Funny enough, that is my text message tone for Cassie. Because
Really?
I've changed my I've changed my text message tone.
That's when cars fly by.
But it won't change. It's stuck like that.
Spooky.
She's already haunted.
She's
you, bro.
already here. I want to slam
That's
the
why
table.
I'm just thinking
Don't-
of like people that would like be annoying over time if they were constantly like doing stuff in my area. Bill Cosby would be a bad one,
Ooh, that would be a really bad one.
especially if like
Especially-
it was touchy.
Well,
You
especially
just
if,
keep hearing pudding pops.
not even if he was touchy.
Like you just feel someone grabbing in a weird place.
Not even.
Like
not
just
even,
your side gets pinched. He's like,
not even. Not even if he's touchy, but like if you're just hanging out.
It was
just like flicks you in the head. The ghost stick being a dick.
Got your leg.
And I do like to imagine that stuff would happen after you like got you would get to the point where you're like, all right, I'm ignoring it, and then it would be like, no, you're not.
We got nothing common with
Okay, idea. Every time you get used to it, it changes.
Oh,
So
no.
it's
Someone-
like,
someone
You would
new.
think he would get away from me, and he'd be like, hey.
It would then become that out.
yeah. So it's like one day you just kind of stop hearing Alex Jones going off in your head, and then you just hear that Kurt, and then it's
It's
like,
like,
fuck, like.
I think I got Jaws' ghost.
I think the
Trump would be very annoying after a while, just like China.
You're in the bathroom and you're like pissing. It's like it's huge.
It's huge.
You're at a Mexican restaurant. What are you doing here?
Just judges you.
Yeah, everything you do.
No, I think for
Oh,
me
man.
the worst one would be like if it were like Peter Griffin's voice actor.
Oh, Seth
Stuck
MacFarlane.
in Is it?
Okay, Seth.
Seth
Yeah, Seth
Does he
MacFarlane
do
does.
Peter?
He does
Yeah.
Peter.
Oh, well then yeah. If
He
it was
does.
just Seth
Here's-
MacFarlane,
yeah, here's
I'd be
the
like,
thing.
I'm suffering.
What
You
about
would
fiction?
because he's Peter, Quagmire,
Stewie,
Stewie,
Brian.
and Brian.
Yeah,
Well, he's
And a
also
bunch of
Chris.
side characters.
and a bunch of people in other
Seth
shows.
MacFarlane- No,
Okay.
He's
Seth
the doctor as
Green
well.
is Chris.
Oh, yeah.
So, fictional characters. Who do we not want to follow us as fictional characters?
I mean, Peter would be pretty
Peter
bad.
Dog.
Yeah, just Peter.
The fucking Noid.
The Glove Go Gab Galab.
Yeah,
I know what he's
I know what you're talking
Fuck
about. That would
that,
be
dude.
terrible. Honestly, SpongeBob would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
It would get old real quick if that laugh was constantly like in the back of your head or something.
Freddy Freaker would get annoying after a while.
I like to imagine though, because like you wouldn't hear him or feel him.
You just hear the music.
You would just see him, like see the apparition of him.
Just
You don't-
T-pose.
standing
He's
over.
doing this dance. He's
You just see his shadow moving in your room.
You
That
never,
would be
you
terrifying.
never actually see him. You only see his shadow in front of you, and whenever you turn around, the shadow's there now.
and like every time he's there, the theme music's playing, but it's not at like a.
It sounds
very
like it's
high
underwater.
Thing. It's like really, really, really low, and I hear.
It's like muffled, like it's
It's
coming
like-
from inside of a club and you're on
No,
the
it's
outside.
like one of
Yeah.
those creepy videos where it's like Freddy Freaker's theme song, but in a wet sewer at 3 a.m.
Hey, the
And you
Delilah
hear-
and empty Toys R Us.
Yeah, it's like you
Yeah.
hear it in the distance, like
Yeah.
water's dripping, and just hear it.
You know what would be a really bad one?
What's that?
Medea.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, I already have some people in my family that act like Medea.
But if you were being constantly haunted by that,
Yeah.
Motifa.
Motifa would be funny.
Motifa, baby.
Motifa would be funny. I'd be like, oh, Motifa.
Motifa, baby.
I need you. I need a wire.
I get pissed off if the Emperor
Weird
was
ones.
there.
Weird ones would be
The
like
Emperor?
Ash from Pokemon.
Yeah. From
Emperor?
Star Wars.
Oh,
Why Ash?
Ash from Pokemon
Yeah.
would be weird to just have in your head all the time.
yeah. I feel like any character that is a kid,
Like, yeah.
especially if they were like genuine, like we're talking like there's weebs out there that'll be like anime girl, but she's like 14. Like if you had an anime girl, like if you had Asuka from Evangelion in your head.
I get so fucking pissed off immediately.
Yeah, just one of those high pitched, like annoying girl characters.
No, she's
or
not
something.
high pitched annoying. She's just like so
Cocky
fucking
and
cocky
arrogant and mean.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just mean for no fucking reason. Oh my god, I love her, but I hate her.
But I just mean like if you even had one of those characters that was like one of the like harem-y characters, it'd be like, "You're 14, don't talk to me. You're 14, don't talk to me."
It just makes you feel awkward all
I
day,
think
every
Cheese
day.
from Foster's Home for
Oh, that would be
Fuck, dude.
That'd be something.
You could never
don't-
drink.
I
chocolate
imagined.
ever again.
I don't remember. Schnitzel is his name from Cheddar.
Schnitzel.
No, but he's chill. He doesn't. If you just tell him, "Would you fucking stop?" He'll be like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're right."
Imagine
got-
just
You
having-
take the moon.
Just
You
imagine.
take
Ah,
the
just
moon.
that. Yeah, what song would be the worst to hear on repeat?
Oh, the worst song to hear on repeat.
What's New Pussycat?
Shout out to John Mulaney. Man, I'm trying to
The
think.
Scooby Doo theme song on repeat.
That'd be fine. That's, yeah, that'll be fine.
Like I love that song.
Probably the fucking He-Man meme music video.
Yeah,
Oh, I feel like that would be an
What's
easy
going
one.
on?
I feel like that would be an easy one for me.
No, it would not. After 20 minutes of it, I think it'd be over.
I feel like the Nyan Cat would be worse than that.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Because the He-Man one has like
We're
different.
just talking about all
it at
those
least changes
songs that
verse
people are
wise.
like, "Can you stand an hour of just listening to this?"
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Or just Mimi
That
songs.
is, I know people have an opinion about Fine Brothers and all, but they started a new series which is pretty entertaining.
Called Naruto.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Shit.
Believe it.
Believe it. It's just like how long can you watch? And the first episode's the most effective
Yeah.
because the setup is you're gonna sit in here until you
It's
can't
really
take
good.
it anymore, and you're competing against your
They're like-
your fellow peers.
Are they like the
And
ones
they're
where it's
horrible.
like the opposite of the So Satisfying videos where they're like do little like
Like the
grading
first episode
things?
was the He-Man thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
where
So
it's
it's
just
So
like, how
the
long can you
longest,
listen to this?
so people left, and it's like a psychological thing. It's like I could be here for a day. I could be here for 12 hours if I sat here. But like after 3 hours, they cut the video off. It's like, all right, you won the challenge.
they do
It can only happen. It can only be perfect once. After that, it would be like. Also, there's a time limit at some point.
So I'm sure I'll rant about this at some point. I really, 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 really hate the So Satisfying videos. Like the videos
Yeah.
that are supposed to be satisfying to watch and hear.
It's usually like them like scraping
Cutting soap or
squeezing something and like a bunch of colored
I
water
hate
comes out. Or
I like the satisfying videos that are like machinery doing a task.
I like the ones where they're
Yeah,
actually
where
doing
it's like
something. It's
control.
not something that just nobody fucking
Yeah,
does.
no.
I
Those
think
things are
you-
interesting. The how it's made and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are
So-
satisfying.
Yeah, like
and
how
interesting.
chain links are made,
Yeah,
like
so-
the
so-
machine that makes
so let's
chain
say,
links.
Soap cutting.
yeah, let's say like the
Playing
snap,
with
like,
slime.
Yeah.
That's
Snapchat
not.
It's
kind
like
of
pointless.
Yes, the Snapchatty like we've raked in 1 million views on YouTube because something like
My
that.
favorite satisfying video is like a bunch of construction workers that were laying like a brick wall, like laid them all like up next to each other, and,
And then knocked them
domino
over.
effect it went.
then
And
went
then when
back.
when the last one went down, they were all like in a perfect angle, so they just all slip into place,
Mhm.
going backwards.
Mhm.
I like the one where it's like construction work is just satisfying in general. There's like 6 guys around a
like the pike in the ground.
or yeah, the pike in the
Mhm.
ground, and they have it timed perfectly to where
Oh, where
all
they're
their
hitting it.
swings are perfect.
Yeah.
They all have a hammer, and then
And
it
they're
just
5
goes in
feet
order.
apart.
of them.
And see,
Yeah.
that's satisfying to me.
Yeah.
I hate the
You
other
got
videos.
that.
But I've seen where there's also starting to be this trend on Snapchat that I'm seeing where it's how long can you watch this? Where it's like people doing gross shit and like shit that's like, I blew out snot rocket, now it's all down my face and stuff, and it's like the opposite of the so
I
satisfying
fucking
stuff.
hate videos that people put online of them eating for
Mukbang?
ASMR.
Yeah, like the mukbang stuff.
No, like
Just
those,
ASMR. In
Those
general.
fucking black ladies that just get
Oh, I know what you're
lobster
talking about.
and just eat them loud as hell in the mic, and people are like, "Dude, it's so satisfying." Why? No.
Or like
no.
eating like a really big pickle or something.
Yeah, something really
dude, I hate
gross.
that one
Yeah.
so much. It just
Oh, you just saw,
Shot
I just saw
chills.
I saw Jared just fucking cringe and like just shiver.
fuck.
Ah.
Fuck.
I don't know how we got on that.
Speaking
but
of food,
yeah,
I have one more for the table.
do you have a hypothetical
Let's
for
do
food?
I have a food.
Food
related
for
one.
thought?
One more for the table. If all fast food restaurants, and I'm talking about restaurants that have like a drive-thru,
Mhm.
if all fast food restaurants were replaced with one restaurant, you could only have one. What restaurant would you pick? Mine personally.
One fast food restaurant.
Yeah, one
That's all
fast
that
food
exists.
restaurant, and we're talking about restaurants that have drive-thrus.
Okay.
So, like, for me, and I'm sure anybody who knows me is not surprised that my pick is Taco Bell.
Knew it.
I love Taco
For
Bell.
me, it's kind of a toss-up. I would go for one if money were an issue, and I'd go with the other if it was just my pick. If money were an issue, Steak and Shake.
Money's not an issue.
If money's not an issue, Wendy's.
Yeah.
I fucking love Wendy's.
I really like
Wendy's is definitely like Wendy's is definitely like the higher quality of.
Yeah.
They've got some of the
They got
best
square
burgers.
burgers.
Well, and it's like me and you like always make the comment whenever we're at Steak and Shake too. We're like Steak and Shake has like a ridiculously high like
Quality.
beef quality,
Yeah.
and so that's why I like them a lot.
Yeah, no,
but-
Steak and Shake's definitely
and they're super cheap.
a good burger place, certainly for the price.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Zaxby's. Zaxby's is solid.
Zaxby's is really good.
Zaxby's is solid all across the board.
Yeah.
But if I could only have one, my heart is with Taco Bell.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
money's
putting
an issue.
Zaxby's
I'm
up
picking
there
Wendy's.
somewhere.
I'd say Zaxby's with the. I'll stick to the way you did it with like money's not an issue, money is an issue. If money's not an issue, Zaxby's. If it is an issue, the stuff I normally get at Wendy's isn't super expensive.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to go that way. I mean, if I'm
I
going to
get that
Wendy's,
Baconator, dude.
I'm spending
Yeah,
$10 on that Baconator.
Well, and here's the thing: at the beginning of the year, if you get the little like thing you can put on your keys, it's
You
got,
get
like,
free
a
Frosty.
You get the free frosty, so you can just get like stuff off the dollar menu there.
And get a whole Frosty too.
Yeah, because everything there is really good.
When they do that,
Frosty's
they
so
do like
good.
they do like a 4 for $4 too.
Yeah,
What
it's like a
restaurant?
drink, fries, and chicken nuggets, and then a burger.
Yeah.
What restaurant do you
That's a
think
5 for
has
5,
the
I
best
think.
like milkshakes?
Did it?
Are
Best
we talking
milkshake?
about just like ice cream or like
No, just
drinkable
milkshakes.
milk?
And are we talking
Like,
about
restaurant, like fast food restaurants, or
Yeah, like we're like
there's
Within the
Baskin
realm-
Robbins count.
within the realm of the conversation. Like
Baskin Robbins has drive-thru, so
Okay, so that counts.
if we're going by the fast food restaurants or restaurants that have drive-thrus,
I don't know.
Wait, what was the question again?
what restaurant has the best? What fast food place has the best milkshake?
I'd still say
I don't
Steak
know.
and
Steak and
Shake.
Shake, probably.
yeah, steak
I'd
and
still
shake.
say
It's
so.
in
My
their fucking
problem with
name.
steak and
They
shake-
gotta be good at it.
I like Sonic. I will say that.
No.
My
I don't-
problem with both of those places is that they're very inconsistent for me.
That's how Sonic is super inconsistent.
I will say
I'll go to
that,
Steak
yeah.
and Shake one time, it'll be super liquidy, and the next time I go, it's like fucking ice cream.
Yeah, that's how I feel like every time.
Extra thick.
I don't think I've ever been able to go to Sonic and get one and actually just be able to drink it. I always have to get a spoon,
I think the most consistent,
which isn't the
milkshakes-
worst thing.
I think the most
want to be able
consistent
Dude, that's
milkshakes.
Cookout right there.
Cookout has the most consistent milkshakes,
That's
even though they're
true,
basically
yeah.
ice cream. But I think
I'm
Cookout.
not a fan of Cookout's ice cream.
I like it.
I think they're
If I had to
good,
choose
but-
specifically, I'm sorry.
No, you're
I have the Dairy Queen from McKenzie, Tennessee,
Ooh,
because it has these fucking sliders. These like it goes perfectly with the milkshake, man. These tiny little burgers.
Mhm.
You can get like 5 of them for $5,
Uh-huh.
and then a milkshake for $2, and it's the best fucking milkshake you've ever
Oh,
goddamn
man.
had.
You just reminded me with the slider thing.
can I hop in real quick? So,
Yeah.
if we're getting super specific of places that have a drive-through and my absolute favorite milkshakes, I'm going all the way back to Oklahoma, and I'm going to Brahms. That is
Oh.
the most consistent. Like their milk comes from all like local farm stuff. Like
that's
everything is so consistent there. It's my favorite. Go there,
That already
get a
sounds good.
get a mint chocolate chip. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
Are they just like an ice cream place?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean they do food too.
Okay.
But yeah,
But their ice cream is their bigger seller.
yeah.
To bring it back to the actual thing we're talking about, I'm gonna replace Zaxby's with Crystal. I like Crystals a lot.
That's what I was about to say. I honestly, if I couldn't pick Taco Bell for some reason, Crystals is up there for me. I can't. I'm just a sucker for those fucking gross burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was younger,
That's chili cheeseburger.
when I was younger, and I used to be religious, but now I'm not. I used to go to church with my grandma when I was like super little.
Mhm.
And after church on Sundays, we'd either go to a place called Piccadilly, which is a
Oh yeah, no
it's like, yeah, it's like a cafeteria type of place. So you go through the line. They've got it's kind of like a meat and three to a degree, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
But you go through the line, pick what you want.
Is that
and
still around? There's still Piccadilly's around here, isn't there?
There was one in Rivergate, but that one closed down. Now it's like some
That might be
cheap,
what I'm thinking.
some cheap buffet, like Japanese place.
There's a really
But,
nice like meat and three over in Hendersonville, like by our house.
There's still plenty of meat and threes,
Mhm.
but yeah, we would either go to Piccadilly or we'd go to Crystal.
Crystals is pretty good. I just like. I mean, I don't really fuck with a lot. I mean, I will eat like their fries and stuff like that, but really, it's just those fucking burgers.
And they're cheap too.
Yeah,
They're
you can
super-
get a fair amount of that food for a good price.
You can get 6 burgers and a like 6 little sliders and a full thing of chili cheese fries with a drink for like $7 or $8.
Oh,
Well, you can do the
that's-
whole
that's
dozen and 2 things of fries and 2 drinks for
Yeah.
like $12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the number 4 is 5 cheese crystals, chili cheese fries,
And a drink.
and a drink.
That's the one
And
I always
that
get.
is like it's like $8.63 or something.
It's
'cause
so
that's
good.
all I
We all
get.
at least have very similar taste in fast food. It seems.
Crystals is one of those ones that I never pick.
Mhm.
But if I'm with people and they want crystals,
You're like, all right.
I'll be like, all right,
I remember.
I get
remember
it
the
because
one-
it's 24 hours, so I always get it at like.
is it really
friggin-
24 hours?
Yeah.
Well,
I get
the
it
one
at
in
like 12 at
Hendersonville
night.
system because nothing in Hendersonville is 24 hours.
some of them are.
Where's the one around here?
It's
There's
the
one
it's over there
over-
next to Oakland.
There's
yeah.
another one.
Yeah,
There's
I
another
guess.
one
also
over
one on
near.
South Church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one over near where I live on Alaskasas.
Really? There's 3 in town?
Now
Yeah.
they all know where we live. Or we all live now.
Give us free crystals. This podcast is brought to you by Crystals. I want fucking free cheese fries.
I hope Crystal's brought to me by a crystal.
Dude, if Crystal sponsored us, like
You heard it here first, Crystals.
that would be.
The ball's in
crazy.
your court.
Hit us up.
I'm about to like tweet them every day, like "Good morning, Crystals."
Start it. Hey.
Become a Stan account.
Okay, Jared. I know you said Zaxby's, but what is there any other place you'd want?
I mean,
Are
Crystal
you also on
sounds
the
like it's
Crystal
up there
train?
for you.
Koji.
Koji.
Koji's a
yeah,
good
Koji
one.
is. It's
Is that a drive-thru?
Yeah.
It's a drive-thru Japanese place.
there's only 2 too.
I've never
so-
had it.
So
you can get like a
more
bunch of
everywhere.
rice and chicken there.
And that's
For
all
real
I
cheap.
need.
Well, it's right. You get rice,
Yeah, I
chicken,
know.
and they have yum yum sauce.
Yeah, well,
That's all I
so,
need, yeah.
So the way it works is you get like it's like rice, chicken or steak, or like shrimp or whatever. Normally they'll mix it with either broccoli or mushrooms. but
Bitch,
you
y'all
get-
making me hungry.
Yeah, you can ask. You can
And
ask
sweet
them.
carrots, but I don't.
I
Get sweet
may
carrots.
get some koji on the way.
You want to go get sushi?
We're also brought by
No.
Koji also sponsors
Koji.
us.
All the sponsors,
Dude, if
please.
I could walk up in there and ask them.
Good morning, Koji.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good morning,
it's a
Koji.
family-run place. so,
Yeah, I know.
There's
I
only
know a
2.
lot of people that work there.
Giles, did you?
He's Dairy
say
Queen.
where? There's Dairy Queen,
Specifically,
right? The Dairy Queen back home, right?
yeah.
Okay.
If I was gonna
If
pick,
every
what
Dairy
about
Queen-
restaurant wise?
Yeah, like
Restaurant.
sit down. Let's go sit down.
Oh, sit downs? If I could only have one sit down in my life, honestly,
Obviously, Applebee's.
one of the best
Save
sit down
that
places I've ever been to, personally, is a place in Nashville called Taco Mamacita.
Yeah.
Where's
It's-
that?
It's real good.
It's right across from the pharmacy, isn't it?
No,
Oh, that's not-
no,
that's
that's
Tacos Mas
that's
or
Mas
Mas
Tacos.
Oh, there's a
Taco
pharmacy
Mamacita is like right when you enter Nashville. I'm trying to remember if it's East or West Nashville.
Is it downtown or?
It's
is it like-
downtown, but it's like it's like as you enter downtown. Like you're not in the middle. You're like on the outskirts. If you went any farther, you'd be in there. But it's like right on the edge there.
Is it over towards
And-
like West End and down there?
I believe so. Again, I'm really blanking on the. I could drive there, but I'm blanking on exactly where its location is.
Mine's definitely
It's just-
Sushin.
It's just really good tacos.
Is that the place we were talking about earlier?
Sushin. Sushin is the. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
It just came to my mind. I didn't want to lose it. Sushin it's a sushi place that's right over here next to the Panda Express over here.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I didn't
been
know
there
it
for
was
it's been there since I was like born. I know all the people that work there and stuff. Was in band with one of their daughters and stuff, and we go there all the time and get sushi, and it's some of the best sushi I've ever had in my time.
Yeah, but if you ever go to Taco Mamacita, order a sloppy Jose. It's pretty much a burrito pie as a taco, and it's delicious.
If I'm gonna be basic, I'm gonna go with Cheddar's because Cheddar's is always incredible. But if I'm gonna go someplace, that's
I
not
love that
like
you
that,
love Cheddar's, TBH.
I love Cheddar's.
We used to get Cheddars after every single football game in high school.
Every single girl I've dated, we've gone to Cheddar's. Like
I know.
religiously.
I know.
Like every girl I've dated,
We've known
it's
each
like,
other a long
it's
time.
like it's like if we don't know where to go to eat, we
You
both look at
get
each other and we're just
Cheddar's?
like Cheddar's. Like yeah,
His
let's
first
go.
message on Tinder is, "Bitch, you like cheddar?"
Honestly, put that up there.
Because if you
going
ain't fucking, it just in your bio says if you ain't fucking with Cheddar's, I ain't fucking with you.
Yeah, they could be like, oh, you mean like money? And if, no, Cheddar's.
The restaurant.
Cheddar's
But
a restaurant.
I think when it comes to like a place that's not like Cheddar's,
Basic.
I'm a huge fan of burger restaurants. ML Rose downtown is solid. At Bonnaroo, they had
The truck? Did they have the truck out
Yeah,
there?
they had the truck over by Plaza 7, and they had like a few craft beers from Nashville, and it was like they had the Nash Vegas burger, which is like pimento cheese, like barbecue sauce, onion strings. They like their burgers they're wild and they're good.
If you asked me this question like months ago, I would have said Burger Rhyme in Murfreesboro, but now they've changed their whole operation, so I'm going fancier, and I'm saying Burger Republic. For their alcoholic milkshakes and their fucking bomb-ass food. I love it. It costs $20 to eat there.
What did Burger Rhyme change?
Burger Rhyme changed. Like, it used to be like a slider formula. Like, you go down the menu.
Yeah.
It's like, choose your bread, choose your style.
Yeah.
No, choose your meat, choose your style.
Yeah.
Your side. Everything. Now it's just big burgers, no styles.
Really?
They do sliders, but like
took the
like
styles
all
off the
the
menu and-
all the burgers come with a set things on them.
I think you can
and they still have all the ingredients.
You can, but it's a fucking pain in the ass.
Well,
You
last
look
time
like
I
an
was
asshole.
there, because last time I was there, I was like, oh, y'all used to have like I think it was the
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
I really liked my order from there was a chicken breast sandwich with a caliente style, then a beef cowboy style, which was barbecue sauce, bacon, and
And an onion
cheddar,
ring on it.
and then I would have cheese and bacon fries. And that shit would be so filling and good, but now you can't fucking do that. I like the charm of making 2 or 3 big sliders.
Yeah, I've been in there a couple times, and every time I come in there and I talk to them about like that whole thing, it's like they're just like, yeah, we don't, we like that. It seems like the employees don't like that they changed.
Which
either.
last time I was there, I was like Cowboy, and never let me know what you mean.
Yeah.
One last burger place. Have you guys been to Jack Brown's on the square?
Yeah, come on.
They've got so their menus are really slim, but they've also got a menu that's got like it's like probably 50 or 60 like craft beers from across the country, and their burgers are really good. They've got one that's got like cream cheese, spinach dip, and like they've got a bunch of different types of burgers.
If I'm picking like out of a burger place, it's gonna be the Pharmacy. Love the Pharmacy.
I've only been once, and it was with you and Haley.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh my god, I love the Pharmacy.
What's your most hated restaurant?
Most hated?
Well, real quick.
Oh wait, did we not get to? Sorry.
No, I've not even got to mine.
Sorry.
If I'm picking a burger place, it's the Pharmacy. But otherwise, me and Haley went recently to get Korean barbecue from a place in Hendersonville called Sapporo. And we've had their sushi before, and we've had a ton of their other stuff. And this is our first time having Korean barbecue, and it was so good. I loved it. It was expensive as fuck, but it was.
It's an
real
interesting
fucking good.
experience.
I like it a lot.
There's a place here called Cup Pop. Have you been?
Yeah, I used to go there every single day of the week.
It's a little expensive, but it's like 3 people run it. It's just a tiny little family run place.
Nicest old lady I've
She's
ever
so
met.
sweet.
So with Sapporo and Hendersonville, it's one lady that runs it, and she did the Korean barbecue stuff for us. Essentially, like cooked the stuff because we had ordered like pork belly and short rib. And again, it was pricey. It was like $50 for the 2 of us, but it was enough to where like there could have been 2 other people there, and we would have all been full. You know what I mean? So a meal like that, feeding 4 people for $50, ain't bad. But like she was lovely. She was a lovely little lady.
Nice old ladies.
So you're about to ask about worst restaurant.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with my worst restaurant experience, and that was at Taco Bell, and it's the reason I don't like sour cream anymore.
Oof, yeah. You've had several bad experiences in general.
It was all in Nashville though. I have had 0 bad experiences at the Taco Bells here.
I'm not even meaning specifically Taco Bell. I just mean like when I think of you and food, as far as bad experiences, there's Taco Bell experiences, there's Jack in the Box experiences.
Okay, so first let me do the Taco Bell one. It's pretty simple why I don't like sour cream, because I used to ask for it off of things anyways, because I wasn't the biggest fan of it, because Taco Bell normally puts a little too much anyways, but this is back in high school. I got like a 5-layer burrito and went to take a bite out of it. Oh,
And you asked for no sour cream.
It still makes me gag.
It busted.
It
It nutted.
it was. I took a big old bite out of the burrito, and it was nothing but tortilla and sour cream.
It was
like,
the
I'll
maximum.
show you no sour cream.
And then the Jack in the Box one, it's the only time I've had to call out of work because, so when me and Oliver used to march in the Band of Blue at, Jared still does, and
Now they're gonna come and kill me in my shows.
Trying to snipe you.
but there was we host this marching competition called COC. Our friend, one of our friends at the time was getting ready to head out to basic training at the time for the Army, so we helped. It was our freshman year of college. We did COC. We got out kind of early because we just had to help. We had to march after prelims and finals, and we came back, saw him for a few minutes, probably like 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we were going to hang out at our friend Logan's place. Stopped at Jack in the Box. And I got this burger. I didn't know it was this at the time, but it was a burger that had like the bottom and top bun were like grilled cheeses. I couldn't even sit up the next morning because if I did, I was gonna throw up. It was just.
I don't even remember.
That's
that
extremely
burger.
greasy.
Yeah, because we
I've
both
had a
got we
burger
both got the
that's just
same
grilled cheeses.
we both got the same combo box. We just got two different burgers.
I fuck with Jack in the Box even though it's pretty much trash.
I love Jack in the Box.
I fuck with it.
I'll still eat it, but I will never get that burger.
I don't understand why people love their tacos so much. Like, I think like they're all right.
I don't
but,
understand.
I see a lot of love for their tacos.
I don't understand why Jack in the Box in general doesn't get as much or gets as much hate as it does. Like, there are so many people that are way against it.
Their
But like,
curly fries are solid.
yeah, there's definitely worse restaurants. You know what I mean?
The old one I used to go to when I lived with my parents closed.
The one
Sad.
over in Donaldson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you have to go over to the one by Summit.
Yeah.
Dude, freaking, I do not like Red Lobster.
Oh.
Because
Not even for their Cheddar Bay biscuits.
no, their food was trash when I had it.
Yeah.
And the last time I went there, it was when I was younger. I got fish sticks. This was before the South Park fish sticks and dumb shit. So like, there was no fish sticks jokes to be had. Yeah, and they were awful. They were cold, and I got sick the next day. Also, while I was there, the power went out and the kitchen caught on fire.
Well, they keep their lights low anyway, so it probably wasn't
wow.
that big of a difference.
So
That's
like,
intense.
yeah, I know. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm never going here ever again. Even if, dude, I was so pissed off.
I mean, there's nothing special about Red Lobster. Being married to someone from Florida, I've definitely had a way better seafood. But like, anytime I've just eaten there, I'm not having a problem like what you had. But
Yeah,
I've never
that was a crazy problem
Yeah.
to be had.
Yeah.
Like that, both of those things
Oh,
happening
yeah.
at once. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think my least favorite restaurant by far is Fazoli's.
I've never been there.
I
I know so
I don't
many
like
people-
Italian food that much, but that's like fast food Italian.
I
food.
like Italian, but yeah, the fast food aspect of that's not good.
It's gross.
One of my fraternity brothers loves Fazoli's, but he's the only one, and like, I've just never had it.
want to go to Fazoli's?
No!
Basically, that's how
like
it goes
we said
every
last
time.
time.
No.
I've never had a good experience at Fazoli's, so I'll
I've had
second that.
many times. I love Fazoli's.
Yeah.
When
I don't
Sorry,
eat
bud.
it, but like my mom when I used to live with her,
is it like a
she
nostalgia
worked
thing?
in Kentucky, and Fazoli's would be on the way home. She'd be like, "I'm on the way home, Fazoli's tonight," and I was like, "I've never eaten Fazoli's," and it's like, "It's lasagna." And I'm like, "Sure, I get it," and
I
I
love
ate it, and I
that.
was like, "That shit's pretty fucking good," and I fucking ate Fazoli's a lot.
The breadsticks are good.
So-
Probably much
To
more
me,
than
I'm just
lasagna on that menu.
I'm just
and I
not a
was
fan
just
of
like,
Italian.
So
That's it.
with me, it was specifically with Fazoli's in middle school. I went to DuPont Tyler, and they would do the like every 9 weeks or report card cycle or whatever. They would do incentive trips
Oh, yeah.
to where if you got good grades
You got to,
and you didn't go to ISS, you could go on an incentive trip. For us, it was walking from our school to Fazoli's, which wasn't far,
Yeah.
but like Fazoli's, they eventually started doing like, because there's other restaurants in that area, they eventually were like, all right, well, you pick Fazoli's Steak and Shake, Famous Dave's.
oh, that's
whatever.
much better. Than
Yeah.
Oh, I hate
Yeah, yeah.
CC's. Oh my
Oh, no.
God, I
Oh,
CC's.
no.
I do love CC.
hate
Jared.
CC's.
No.
Everyone here fucks with
Voted
CC's.
off the
Dude,
island.
every single time after every basketball game.
This is a 4-man podcast now.
After every basketball game, they would take the team to CC's, and it was the most greasy shit.
Really? I feel
Yes.
like I always have the opposite problem. If I have a problem with CC's, it's because it's dry.
Not
because it's wet.
It's the different pizzas. It's either you get dry as shit, like basically just chips pizza,
Yeah.
or just like
Tortilla pizza.
a swamp ass like piece of pizza. It's fucking terrible. And their sweets, they're not even good. Like, they're barely even cooked all the way through. You're eating raw materials.
That's what I like.
Like, it's just not good. The
You
only thing
don't go to CC's because it's good. You go to CC's because
I was
it's
forced
cheap.
to because I was making points for my basketball team.
You go to CC's because it's CC's. Don't fuck with my childhood.
It's
I
endless
love
pizza.
The only thing that I can say that I enjoyed about CC's was just going into the arcade in the back. That was it.
That's the most expensive part.
That's the worst part, because at ours anyways, there was only like 3 games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's only
two of
3
them
games.
weren't.
I get to play all 3 of them because everybody else is dying from pizza.
I
us
will
three.
say that CC's is a soft spot for me because it's a part of like my youth. Me every summer, my dad worked nights, so during the day it was my dad and both my brothers and me, and we would go get CC's pizza and eat CC's pizza, and then come back and play like the original Halo. And it's just big nostalgia.
Well, and
me
for
to eat
us
there.
in general, we used
Yeah,
to do
we
the
used to go to CC's.
Yeah.
round up quarters and then walk to CC's.
Yeah, it's like it was the summer before our senior year.
Well,
and
we started
the summer
going-
after our senior year. We basically spent like even all the weekends throughout our senior and junior year. We spent at Oliver's house basically from Friday night to Sunday morning.
Well, and so at that same time though, when we were like senior year, when we'd get out of school for like exams or whatever, whenever we got out of school early for some reason, we would go
Yeah, we would walk from Oliver's house down the road to CC's.
until we had friends that could drive.
I got some good memories at CC's. That's all I'm saying. I'm aware their food is subpar.
the less than subpar, but I like it.
I like it because it's
Dude,
so
Bramble has some in that pan over there.
It's the garbage I love. Okay, the garbage I choose to eat.
If I was gonna like say a joint that has like a place that has like garbage food that I love, that'd just probably be like the Crystals. It's like obviously it's like extremely bad for you, but it's just so good.
Yeah.
I can't think of another place at the moment. It'll probably come to me later of like a really bad place.
But something to think about is there's so much jerky.
Oh,
All right. Well, my dog has hurt himself,
the dog committed seppuku.
so I'm gonna see what that's about.
Do we have any other
Well,
hypotheticals?
well,
going
I've
on?
not answered, and Giles hasn't answered.
I'm sorry.
What was even the fucking whole
What's
thing?
your worst eating experience?
Oh,
Or just least
me,
favorite
Oliver, and his
or
wife.
least favorite restaurant?
Me, Oliver, and I don't hate this restaurant. I do have gripes with it. It always smells bad, and or maybe that's just the one we go to. It always smells bad, and me, Oliver, and his wife sat there unserved for 2.5 hours.
Who's that?
It's Genghis Grill.
Genghis
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Fucking Genghis Grill.
Yeah, I think Genghis Grill is the only place that, and I love Genghis Grill. I love Asian food. I think Genghis Grill is the only place I've ever eaten and then got done eating and then immediately needed to throw up. And I don't know if it's because it's Genghis Grill or because I was like sick around the times, but you know, there's been times where we'll go and I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. Don't know if it's because I engorge myself too fast, or if I'm sick, or if they didn't cook it all the way through. But there's been at least 2 or 3 times where I'm like, God damn it, that was like
That's the thing about it.
12
It's
bucks.
like there's some times where you're like, oh fuck, I'm sick after eating this. But there's other times where it's just so good, you're like, what the?
It's so
Why?
good.
Like, why is it so good?
I have mostly positive experiences
Same.
eating
Yes,
the food.
and again, the positives for me way outweigh those times that I threw up. But that's the only food I can ever think of where I'm like, yeah, I remember getting sick off of that.
I'm just a picky eater, so like I just find a thing in a restaurant. There's not a restaurant I hate. I mean, I guess if there's a restaurant I hate because I don't enjoy anything on their menu because I'm a picky ass eater is Chewy's. But people fucking
Yeah.
love that shit.
I
I don't-
Chewy's either.
I don't personally do Hispanic food in general.
I like Chewy's, but it's just so basic Mexican food.
It's
like
Their daily
Tex-Mex
specials are
to
good.
a
Their daily
T.
specials are okay.
I care more for their dipping sauces with their chips more than anything. Their creamy their creamy jalapeno is actual
You
crap.
say it's basic. I mean,
That's
hell,
fair.
the thing I get at every Mexican restaurant ever is chicken, cheese, and rice, and they don't do that there.
Boil
They
it
do.
up.
You can get
it's on the
It's an
Secret menu
appetizer?
item.
No, it's on the secret menu. You can get it on the
The
secret menu.
secret menu. Yeah, I think I got it once, and it was like $15.
Because I didn't know they had it, but my friend ordered it last time we went there when we were at Upper Mills.
What are you gonna
And,
say?
like-
Chicken, cheese, and rice?
Yeah, he said that, and the guy was like, okay, and then got it, and it looked pretty good. I don't know how it tasted.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how.
It's probably just their queso.
It's
Yeah, you
not.
should go to Don
It's not
Ramon's.
hard to do
Don Ramon's is
those
good.
3 things. If some place tries to tell you they can't do those 3 things, they're fucking wrong.
Be like, can you please put rice, cheese, and chicken on a
cheese.
plate?
Yeah.
Like, I know you probably don't have it on your menu, but like, you can do that.
I'm just not a
They
fan
just
of
don't.
like.
I mean, if I was a server in that situation, like I don't know what to charge you.
I mean,
It's like,
Trust
what do I
me,
ring this up
I like-
as?
You ring it up for this, the ingredients
Whatever's
for
the
it.
closest.
Trust me,
Well, whatever
they'll
it's
figure it
closest
out.
to or
I'm
something.
not saying
sure,
that servers don't have a rough time a lot of the time, and the way we treat the tipping is shit, but the server can easily ring up something equivalent to that.
Dude, I was getting pissed off at our server that one time we went recently, where I guess he was new or something, but he was like being really nice and stuff. But first of all, I found a hair in my dip, and I was like, okay, what the fuck? So I was like, hey, can I get another dip? There's a hair in here. He's like, okay, man. And he was being nice, and he gave me another one. And then I asked for an Arnold Palmer, and he didn't know what it was, but he's like, fucking 50 or 60. I'm like, and he went. I told him what it was, and then he's like, okay, and he made it, and it was like 75% lemonade, like barely any tea. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I just drank it. He's like, you want another one? I'm like, no, I like a water. He brought me another one. And I was like, what the fuck? I gotta pay for this shit. And then I got my burrito came out, and there's like queso all over it. And I'm like, I didn't even ask for queso. And I'm like, hey, there wasn't supposed to be any queso on here. And he's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. And then takes it back, and then gives me another burrito.
Just kept
And
fucking
then-
up.
Yeah, and I said no beans all over that burrito.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm like, what the actual, like, at the end of it, I was like, Alex, tip as much as you want, dude. I can't even. I can't even. Like,
Yeah.
the guy was being nice, but like, there were so many mess ups that I was like, okay, this is
Nothing
even,
justifies this.
even being new, that doesn't even justify any of that. So,
Yeah. And it's also messed up because like, and at least from like the server point of view, it's messed up because like it could easily be something that like the server is trying to be on it. He's like, he goes to the kitchen, he's like, there's no beans in here, right? And the cook is like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the cook is just being a jack off because I've worked in a Chili's. I definitely know
You've been the
that's
middleman on
yeah,
that.
I wasn't too mad about the burrito because even when he brought out the queso thing, he was like,
Yeah.
was there queso on this? Like that's
the the drink thing.
The
I
drink-
understand is
yeah.
his thing.
Yeah. For me, I don't.
that drink was his tip.
I don't think I've really had any bad experiences. I mean, there's restaurants I don't like. I personally hate Taco Bell. I'm just not digging Hispanic food in general. I know it's not real Hispanic food.
Inspired by
It's
it.
Texan food.
Yeah, but God, worst place I've eaten. I don't know, dude. I like food.
What's the worst like just restaurant experience you've had?
I guess like the most recent thing that comes to mind is just like when I went to Sonic recently.
I remember this conversation. Yeah.
I went to Sonic and we went like my wife wanted to grab a shake and we were like, oh, might as well grab dinner while we're out here. And I asked for like the bacon burger, whatever it is on the menu. And we get our food and we go home. And it was like after we had pulled up to one of the stalls and the pressed the button, nothing happened. So we sat there for like 5 minutes, and then we were like, all right, well, let's move to a different stall. And then at that stall, it took them almost 5 minutes just to answer the button there. And I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't the button. And then, we get our food, we go home. And then, like, I feel my burger, and I'm like, this is really light. This is, like, really small, really light burger. I like a big old burger. I order typically the bigger burgers. And I was like, this don't feel right. And I open it up and look at it, and there's just lettuce and bacon. There's no meat, no cheese, no condiments, no tomato or anything. It's not even like they messed it up for like a BLT. Just lettuce and bacon. And I was so pissed. Like, I was so like, I was so mad that I wasn't even hungry at that point. I was
Yeah,
just like,
I've been like that.
I was just like, what the hell? How do you mess up this bad?
Dude, okay, it's kind of like whenever I'm, oh god, this has happened to me a couple times. I'll have food that I've prepared perfectly. I'll be like, dude, I did such a good job cooking this. I'm walking up the stairs, the last step I fucking trip on it, and it fucking, my food falls on the ground. I actually just start screaming. Like, they're like, I'm not a person to yell or anything.
Yeah.
I usually just, like, if something bad happens, I just kind of, like, push it down. No, when food fucks up, like, I actually go into a rage and I start screaming. And, like, my mom's like, are you okay, honey? Did you hurt yourself? And I'm like, my no, I didn't say fuck. I said, my damn food, Mom. My damn food. And it just puts me in a rage and I don't even want to eat anymore. I don't eat for the rest of the day. That was lunch.
Yeah.
I didn't eat until lunch the next day.
Yeah.
Man, the only experience like that I can say it's happened to me and Giles in recent time is this McDonald's closest to where we live.
Oh no.
Did this thing. It's constantly fucking up Giles's food.
3 times in a row.
But this last time was really annoying in the sense that like we both,
around.
I think we both, or I ordered like a chicken a McChicken and a McDouble, and he ordered 2 McDoubles, and so we in fries and whatever, and we get up to the third window, which is already a problem at this McDonald's. Usually when we get to the third window, we're like, we're either gonna wait a long time or there's something wrong. And
Wait, is it the one on Fortress up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so
not the one down here in the medical
it's the one by
it's
the
not the one at
Thorntons.
Medical Center.
It's the one
It's
by
the Medical Center?
It's the one next to Thorntons.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's not Fortress.
That's not Fortress, that's Medical.
Okay.
Fortress is what Old Fort turns into.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Regardless, it's the one right down the road.
So we're at this window. She's like, you guys ordered the 2 McDoubles and McChicken, and she like names off stuff, and we're like, should be 3 McDoubles in there, and she just like looks at us, looks at the bag, kind of like tilts her head like a dog or a cat looking at something. It's like, oh yeah, it's in there, and gives it to us.
No, she's like, she lists off the things like, oh, it's supposed to be 3 McDoubles. She's like, yeah. And then hands it to me.
She says,
and
yeah,
like,
it's in there.
Yeah, it's in there. And hands it to us. So I was like, it's fucking in there. And I get home. This is the time when I don't have any money, and Oliver's being nice and buying me dinner.
Sugar daddy.
Yeah, and I'm the one that gets shafted. And I think, so I only got 1 fucking
Like 2 McDoubles and a McChicken in there.
Yeah,
With
so
all
I was
those
like,
in there.
I was like, yo, man, fuck me. And then he's like, we can go back. It's like, no, we're already
No.
here.
Dude, that McDonald's has some fucking problem.
That's my thing. I'm never the person, like, of course I want to go back and yell at them, but I'm always just like, I'm
Oh
not going to
my
waste
God.
my gas just to go up there and be mad at somebody and just get the same thing.
Look,
as
like,
That's another 20,
it
30
pissed me off
minutes.
because
Yeah.
you know how they had that special going on where it's a 2 for $5, right?
Yeah.
I have been getting the 2 for $5 at that McDonald's for like the whole entire week because I worked right over there.
Yeah.
And basically, I go for it this one time, and there's this American chick on the mic, and it's not normally like that. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And I'm like, can I do the 2 for $5 deal with a quarter pounder and the 10-piece nuggets? She brings it up as just the quarter pounder and a chicken nugget, and I'm like, is it gonna end up being $5 like it usually is? And she's like, do you want your drink? Like, she's not even answering my question. I'm like, I want the 2 for $5, and she's like, that's what I'm putting on here. And then like she like gets her manager to help her out to like fix something on the screen, and he fixes it, and it says a 2 for $5 thing. I'm like, thank God the manager's there. But then she fixes it back to the other thing, and I'm like, what did you do? It was on 2 for $5, the 2 for $5 thing.
I love that. What did you do?
Yeah, I was like, what did you do? And I'm like, the manager, like, she's like calling for the manager again. He's like, what's wrong? And she's like, it's back to this thing. And I'm like, yeah, she just switched it back, obviously. Like, there's no other way. And
Jared
talking
calling
to
her
her
out.
through the headset.
yes. And she's like, what did you say? And like, so the manager's like, why did you switch it back? I switched it to this. And then she's getting pissed at her manager. She's like, I can't remember what his fucking name was. I think it was either like Tyler or Josh. But she was like, Josh, you need to calm down. Like to her manager.
Oh no.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? He switches it back to the fucking 5. She switches it back to the other thing again. And then she's like, okay, it's 16.
It's a roller coaster.
She's like, it's 16:45. And I'm like, okay. And I just drove off.
Okay.
I was like, fuck this dumb bitch. I do not. Do not want to deal with her ever again. You definitely know I'm never going at that time ever again. If I ever hear her voice, I you know what? Next time I'm just going inside. I'm just gonna be like, yo, where that bitch at? I'm trying to clear some shit up real quick.
Yeah, so another story, and then I think you should totally tell your like, you went to the drive-thru pretty late at night, and the guy was like, can you come back in 10 minutes? And you're like, I guess. And then you waited for 10 minutes and came back, and he was shocked that you came back.
Yeah, no, I did. That's a really short story. All that happened is I had gotten off late.
Was it Taco Bell?
No, this was
okay.
McDonald's. This was the McDonald's near the Chipotle over here because I used to work at it. And I got off like a night shift, and I just drove to it because I was hungry. And I roll up to it, and they're like, yeah, can you give me like 10 minutes? And I was like, yeah. And I go and park and just look at my phone for... just 10 minutes, which is not long, and just looking at my phone time, really. Yeah. And then I drive back through, and I'm like, hey, it's me again. And he was like, oh, I can't believe you came back. And I was like, yeah, can I get food? He was like, yeah, man. And I got food. So he was like surprised.
Well, I'm sure most people would just say like, all right, I'll just go to the next McDonald's on
the
way
they
or
like 5
whatever.
minutes and leave usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my McDonald's story, it made me so mad I stopped eating there for like 4 months.
Ooh.
Because and then I go back because I'm a fucking weak sheep person. No, we moved. And then we have McDonald's over here.
Oh yeah, because the McDonald's that was over there was also bad, right?
Yeah, so they gave me wrong food. I was having a bad day. I went back and I was like, can I please get my food back? I brought the receipt. I didn't bring the food because they wouldn't. They can't take it back. They can't serve it. At least I hope not.
It's not
and I hand them the receipt.
It's not a Chuck E. Cheese.
And I hand them the receipt. It's like I got the wrong thing. It's like, well, where's the food? I'm like, it's home. I threw it away. It's wrong food. It's like, well, we can't take it. We have to take it back so you can have it. Or so you can get the right stuff. It's like, how about you just fucking give me what I ordered already? I paid for this.
Oh, for that one, I can kind of see what they need. They probably just need to see the
probably
food.
need to see it. So and it didn't help because the lady, it was an old lady, old bitch. I'm talking ancient, probably dead.
Oh my god.
She's like,
Rip.
She kept talking to me. It's like, okay, honey, you need to stop. You need to stop like getting a temper with me right now. It's basically like you don't have like any room to make demands right now, honey. You're too young. I was like, whoa, what? And I came home. I fucking slammed that fucking door. I went upstairs and I came back with the food, and I was like, hey, I'm back. Here's my receipt. Here's the food. And then she's like, all right, here you go, and hands me my fucking food. Didn't take the other one. Didn't even check it. She just wanted to fucking make me drive again.
You should have brought the entire trash can and like just
throw it over the counter.
Yeah, just throw it on the counter. It's like, bitch, my food. Not even speaking like real English. Be like, bitch, my food. I need it. And then like she'll just be like, okay, these youngsters are wilding. I need to give them their food.
So like damn millennial caveman.
Yeah. The worst part about me coming back is like I said, like, hey, the guy. I came back. I have the food now. And she's like, I heard her over the intercom go, and I was like, bitch, ooh, and I get up to the thing. It's like, okay, honey, can you just pull forward and just sit there for a second? I'm like, all right. And I fucking go up there, and she fucking brings out the new food, and she's like, have a great day, sir.
She probably squirted in it.
And
gross. Oh, on that note,
yeah, we're gonna call it. So, thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you next week.